Sam, it's Eid tomorrow.
Sah.
Inshallah. May Allah allow us to see it.
Ameen.
Episode 25,
So
man.
what day is it today? The day of?
Thursday. Oh, Arafat.
The day of Thursday. Alhamdulillah, beautiful day today.
Yeah, beautiful day. A great day to fast. Great day to make dua. Great day to do worships. You know, inshallah, any good deed that we do will be multiplied. So it's definitely worth it, man. We could all do them deeds and weighing heavy on our scale.
You're correct.
I'm correct. I am correct.
You're correct with that.
Yeah, I'm always correct, man. Often. How you doing, man? It's been good. What has it been like?
It's been 2 weeks. I saw you last week, to be fair, but not for a podcast.
Alhamdulillah, but I just feel sad when we don't do a podcast.
I know, man. But you can't feel sad now. We've just done about 2 hours podcast.
That's true.
So you don't feel no reason to be sad.
I don't feel sad anymore.
With the main man.
Yeah, inshallah. We
introduce the main man.
We on for next week, by the way?
What's next week?
Podcast, bro.
Inshallah, yeah.
Inshallah. Guys, this is episode 25. Episode 25, Freshly Grounded. Freshly Grounded is brought to you by 59. That's 50_NINE on Instagram. It's 59 Stanhope Road. It's a wellness cafe, coffee bar. I don't know why I said bar. It's not really a bar. A coffee bar. Fresh juices, fresh snacks, vegetarian food is amazing. It's my favorite place to ever go to when it comes to snacks and coffee. Hands down, I love it. I'm not just saying that because it's owned by one of my best friends. 59, man, go check it out. And if you go to 59 this month, in the month of August, you get
you're going to receive 50% off this bag.
You get 50% off a 59 tote bag.
50% off.
50%.
There's a few left, so go and get the last few. And then next month, inshallah, we'll do a new deal.
Yeah. Next month, we might be jumping out of a plane, Sam. Skydiving.
Make dua.
Inshallah.
It's a good day to make dua.
Yeah. Also, guys, brought to you by izaha.com. Arabic hats, Arabic caps, Arabic fashion. Yeah, man. Use the code word freshly grounded at izaha.com. You get 20% off. And lastly but not least, brought to you by Flavor, FLAVR, your complete branding and marketing and social media marketing solution. Flavor, FLAVR.co. And Sam, what did we talk about in this episode? Who do we have with us on this episode?
Mr. Abdul Sharif.
Mr. Abdul Sharif.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, MashaAllah. We've got Abdul Sharif, who's an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, he's a philanthropist. We speak about so much. Guys, this episode is just so... It's great. I love shooting this episode.
No breaks.
Yeah, no breaks at all.
We usually break about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sometimes look at each other, we've got nothing to say, we have to go to the toilet, like we break. No, we just run the whole way through there. That says a lot.
That says a lot.
Oh, wow. Usually we have to stop, we run out of things to say. So alhamdulillah, that's just, and it's been long as well.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you bring someone interesting. That's what I've been trying to tell you, man.
Oh wow, so you're saying
trying to tell you, man.
So I'll just tell all the guests that are coming in 24 episodes beforehand.
No.
What do we speak about in this episode, Sam?
We speak about YouTube.
We speak about YouTube. We speak about network marketing.
Yes.
We speak about financial success and how to balance that with your deen.
We speak about self-development.
Yeah. We speak about speaking in front of 30,000 people.
Acting.
Yes.
Seashores.
On
the
balcony. Yeah, it's a very interesting episode, guys. I'm sure you guys will love it, inshallah. Please do always give us your feedback. Drop us an email, hello@freshlygrounded.com. If you want to sponsor Freshly Grounded, hello@freshlygrounded.com. Hit us up on Instagram.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on our personal, on our Freshly Grounded account. Jump onto mine to find Abdul Sharif's account. Follow us, like our pictures, all that.
All that and more.
Support us.
All right, guys. With that being said, Sam, should we... I don't know about you, but should we get into the episode?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Should we definitely get into the episode?
Episode.
Yeah, it would make sense. Let's get into this episode.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right, let's do it.
Go on then.
Fine.
The father.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded.
No, after that bit.
The brand new podcast.
And after that bit?
By best friends, Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Okay, guys, and we are joined by Abdul Sharif. This is episode 25. Abdul Sharif, welcome to Freshly Grounded. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you doing?
Can I just finish?
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. And yourself?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Tika?
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah, it has been, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
It is very good to be back.
Good to be back with a guest as well.
Yeah, we're joined with Abdul Sharif. Now, you guys might be thinking, Abdul Sharif.
Abdul Sharif or Abdul Sharif, Abdul Sharif.
Abdul Sharif.
Abdul
Well,
Sharif.
the thing is, the
I thought-
English say Abdul Sharif,
Yeah.
but majority of my family members and so on, they say Abdul Sharif.
Abdul Sharif.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
To be honest, I don't even mind. Like,
Sometimes you just Abdul, you just take Abdul sometimes, don't you? Or do you
yeah,
prefer
I mean, the thing is, my family actually call me Dadir, right?
Dadir.
Yeah, because my full name is Abdul Qadir, but people call me Abdul for short.
Abdul Qadir.
Yeah, Abdul Qadir is actually my full name.
It's
but
getting real
people say
confusing
Abdul
up in
Sharif. Yeah.
Real quick.
No, I often find I've met so many brothers over the last few years who've got so many different names.
Yeah, it's like Abdul, Abdullah,
Yeah.
loads
So
of different names.
Abdul is slave of Allah, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Qadir is Qadr.
Well,
so
No, Abdul Qadir. Qadir is one of Allah's names.
Yeah.
So Abdul Qadir is slave of God, basically.
slave, yeah.
Yeah.
And Qadir, remind me, means
Qadr of Allah.
Qadr, the
Yeah.
plan, the Qadr of Allah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So you got Abdul Sharif, Abdul
Sharif. I
Qadir,
call him Abdul Sharif. I call
Abdul
him
Sharif. We've also got Sam or Abdul Samad, Abu Zaydan or Martin.
Martin.
Remember Samuel Martin?
Oh yeah.
And anyway, Abdul Sharif, right? So Abdul Sharif, businessman or entrepreneur. I think entrepreneur sounds better than businessman. Businessman almost implies that like you just are like someone who comes into work and like does his business. But entrepreneur is, I think, a much better description of yourself. So
Yeah.
entrepreneur, philanthropist, speaker. I'm hearing actor.
Yeah.
I'm interested in all of this. We'll definitely dive into it in this episode. But first of all, I'd love to know, like, I suppose, would you say that your primary thing that you do, if you had to define yourself in one word, would you say, I'm guessing entrepreneur?
I'll say entrepreneur. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, since I was the age of 14, I wanted to be involved in the acting industry, but my parents were, I wouldn't say negative. They was always supporting me with my dreams and so on, but they were just trying to hit me with reality, saying, go to university, play the safe part, and get a degree so you can be secure in life. You can be financially secure. So I did that. I went to drama school once a week, but rather than going full time to work on my craft, I went to university and I got a degree. And when I started working in the real world, I just never really enjoyed the 9 to 5. And I realized with the acting, it wasn't providing me with a stable income. So, and luckily, man, one of my good friends from uni, he just told me, look, like, I want to bring you into something. I came to see what's good. He showed me the business plan and whatnot. And then that's when literally I became an entrepreneur. So it was never planned. I never planned on becoming an entrepreneur, but it just happened because that was the only choice.
Wow. So what age was that?
I was about 23 at the time when I started my first business. I was about 23 years old. I mean, because everyone when they're young, they have that dream where they want to be a superstar.
Right.
They want to be a famous singer or a famous dancer and for me, my dream was to always become an actor. And one of my biggest inspirations was Will Smith. Every time when I remember when I was little, Men in Black, that was my favorite film. And I literally remember that song. Here comes the man.
Of course.
I remember I used to get a toothbrush and be like, sorry, cheat. When the flash
React
stuff.
to the scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to literally get a toothbrush, wear black shades, and used to try and
Take
like
people's
blind
memory.
people.
Yeah.
Literally.
Did it ever work?
Of course not, obviously not. But yeah, I mean, when I was 14, when I was growing up as well, obviously when I was inspired to become an actor and whatnot, one of the best things I've done actually was Harry Potter. I had the chance to actually, yeah. So I'll tell you the story of it actually. What happened was, and it's funny because when I actually auditioned for the film, I auditioned for this major part. It was a character called Blaze the Beanie.
Okay.
And this character was in Slytherin, so he was part of the evil guys, right? And I remember when I auditioned for it, I didn't get it, but one of my good friends got the part. But then they liked me, so Warner Brothers, they made me sign a contract and whatnot. And basically, what they did was they gave me a role, but not a major role. It was like a small speaking part. And on the day on set, the director just decided to cut my lines.
Wow. Bro, you know what? That doesn't even surprise me because I know somebody who's really close to me who actually back in the day had a role in James Bond.
Nice.
And so he got cast for this role in James Bond, which was like not a humongous role, but it wasn't the tiniest role either. And like he got picked up by a car and like got like chauffeur driven in this like fancy car to the set. I think like 2 days worth of filming or maybe 2 weeks worth of filming. I can't remember, but like a chunk of filming.
Yeah.
And then when they were doing the edit, they just cut that whole thing out.
Really?
And that's just how it works in the movie industry apparently.
Also,
Yeah.
On the day they cut your lines up.
Well, that's the thing. On the day they cut my lines
Wow.
out, but they
Really?
said, but the
So
director
did you not
said
get
to
to do it?
me,
You didn't even get to speak your lines.
no. But the director said to me, "Don't worry, you'll be seen." So the good thing is that if you watch Half Blood Prince, you actually see me with a little afro having soup with Hermione,
Is it?
Ron, Harry, and Luna
Really?
Lovegood. So it was a great scene.
How old are you there?
I was about 18.
Oh, you're young.
I was about 18, very young, had no facial hair. And
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
so. But that was a great experience, you know, just being surrounded by, you know, the Hollywood actors and whatnot, and all the cameras and on set, seeing like the castle and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
It was a good experience.
So did that inspire you to continue your dreams and ambitions of being an actor, or?
The thing is, obviously, I went on and I done a few West End shows and whatnot, but
What West
the
End
problem.
shows?
I actually performed in the Soho Theatre. I performed. Obviously, you know about Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I performed Macbeth.
Oh, wow.
And Midsummer Night's Dream.
No way.
But the only problem with that was I didn't get paid what I thought I was gonna get paid. So,
Right.
and with acting was like, I had to always find the balance. Like I had to work either as a waiter just so I can support myself financially, and you know make sure that I continue with my dreams. But obviously, when I went to university, things changed. Obviously, you guys know assessments, and it just took a lot of my time. So, but then when I graduated from university, I still tried doing the acting, but then I wasn't making any money from it. So it's like, that's how and I was always just praying for something. If it's not acting, that's not going to work for me. I just never wanted to just work for someone else. I was always praying to Allah and just always asking Allah to just provide me with something that I can just become successful in the dunya. And that's when I started my business, literally.
So when you started your business at 23, and was it like instant success, or was it like
No. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was instant success. I had when I first started my business, I mean, there was a lot of my friends were very negative about it. I mean, I remember starting and you know, trying to expand my network and stuff, and a lot of my close friends didn't support me, and it was kind of hard for me because when my friends wasn't supporting me, that's when I started to thinking I was maybe doing something wrong. But then one of my mentors, he said to me, you know, if you look at your friends, the circle of your friends, are they in a right financial position where you would wish to be in? And that really made me think. And I thought, hold on, none of them are actually doing very well financially. And he said, so why seek financial advice from your friends when they're not in a financial position where you want to be in?
Yeah.
And that's what made sense to me, you know? So that's when I realized, you know, hold on a second, I'm not going to follow what my friends say. I'm going to, you know, follow my own decision. Because the thing is, people are always going to have opinions. People are always going to have negative opinions about what you do. But it's not about following, you know, the masses. It's about taking risks and taking your own chances and making that decision to yourself that if you see something valuable and you see progressing, then you just got to go for it, man. And that's exactly what I did. But in the beginning, in terms of hardships, it was quite hard, you know, dealing with friends and so on. So, I mean, I wouldn't say friends, I'll say associates. I did lose some friends along the way. But I started to really see benefits of running a business after like 7-8 months of hardcore perseverance, you know. So
How old are you now?
I'm actually 27.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
And
So-
in an ideal world, like what age would you like to work until? Because people who are entrepreneurs, like some people get so obsessed with it that even when they're at the point where they feel like they're ready to retire, they just don't.
Yeah.
Because they love that work, they become workaholics, right? So would you say you're a workaholic?
Well, the thing is, like, I wouldn't, in terms of what I do, I wouldn't really call it work because I love doing what I do. And one of, you know, Warren Buffett, he says, you know, in order for you to never work again in your life, you need to be doing something you love doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in terms of within our opportunity, it's like you have leverage, you have time and money combined. And And that's the kind of thing for me, what I don't call as work. Someone asked me the other day, they said, Abdul, in terms of your business, like, do you work full-time or do you work part-time? And I said to them, well, it's my full income, it's my bread and butter, but my full-time is spending time with family, you know, going on holidays, doing the things that I want to do, you know what I mean? Like, just living life, basically.
So when do you work? Do you weave it in and out of that? Could you go a week without working?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go to a year, 2-3 years without working, but the thing is, I created this passion for it where I just love helping people, because within our business, it's just about helping people financially, you know, just creating more entrepreneurs, you know, creating an opportunity for people, creating a system for people so people can become financially free. And that's what it's all about, you know. And there's a thing from, there's a gentleman, I don't know if you heard of Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
And have you heard of the cash flow quadrant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Video we watched on the way back from
I remember
Bristol.
it. Clearly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you guys watched it?
Yeah.
And you know, he actually discusses this in detail. He says, you know, 95% of the world, they are either employed by someone else or they're self-employed. Now, self-employed, of course, is running your own business, but the business basically owns you. So if you're not putting your time into that business, you won't make income, basically. And as an employee, you know, if you don't put no time into that company, you don't get paid. So that's linear-based income. Whereas the 5% of the world, such as, you know, the greatest billionaires, millionaires, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, you know, Jay-Z, all these people, the way they make their income is through residual income. So by creating a leverage for themselves. So if Jay-Z makes one album, right, and that sells on, you know, iTunes, HMV, and so on, he consistently gets paid for it. But he sells millions of records, but doesn't have to do them a million times. So that's working smart. And this is something that we promote within our business. Of course.
What is residual income, just for the people that don't understand that word? So residual income means something you do once and you consistently get paid for it month after month, year after year. So there's loads of ways of earning residual income. I mean, people get into the property market nowadays, you know, where, you know, you invest in a property and when someone pays the rent, you make a residual income every single month. So you don't have to work for it. It's just as long as they're paying, as long as someone's paying, you make a drink of it.
And you're just basically continuously getting paid for it, you know. But as a self-employed person, you know, you can't really. For example, if you own a restaurant, let's just say, for example, you have to consistently be at that restaurant every single day in order to make sure that the employees are doing the right job, the supplies are coming in on time. So there's a lot of overheads that you have to deal with in terms for you to make that a consecutive income. Yeah. Whereas when you have leverage, you know, whether you do something or not, you consistently get paid for it month after month, year after year. And that's and to be honest, that's what it's all about. It's about living a life of freedom, you know. So you can do, like, one of the things I realized, for example, you know, if you're working for someone else, and let's just say, you know, touch wood, but let's just say, for example, you know, someone in your family got sick and they live in another country, you have to go and ask your boss to have that permission to leave work and go to another country. Now it's up to your boss whether he will let you go and see a family member who's about to pass away. Now imagine that. But that's the reality that people are facing. And, you know, whereas if you had time and money, you can basically do the things you want to do. So if something like that ever happened, you can go away and, because anything can happen. SubhanAllah, like tomorrow I can lose a leg. Who knows? Do you know what I mean? But if I was working for someone else and I wasn't fit enough to work, I'll lose that job. Whereas if I have a business where it's paying me residual income, then it's a sort of thing where I'm still in a very comfortable situation. And, you know, most people nowadays, what happens is that, you know, they go to university. This is the system that the government has created for people. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in education, they basically teach us how to work for someone else, right? So, you know, we go to school, we go to college. They tell us to go to university. We get our degree, and most people, they don't even work in a job from the field that they studied in. Do you know what I mean? So it's a sort of thing where they go to university. After university, they hit the real world. They're in a lot of debt, and they just start working full time. So what happens is they work. It's called the 40-40-40 scam. I don't know if you heard of it.
Nah.
So basically, you work for 40 hours a week
Okay.
for 40 years of your life,
Yeah.
and then you receive a 40% pension, and then death comes to you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not really the life of what most people want, to be honest. But that's the reality that most people are facing today.
Do you think everybody though is capable of being an entrepreneur or having residual income? And if they were, there would be no one to work for them, right?
Of course, the thing is, the masses today, there's a reason why 95% of people work for someone else. It's because some people don't have the brain capacity to do something long enough in order to make it work. And of course, that could be lack of belief system. Sometimes it can even be opinions from the internet, family members and friends, and that can put someone off. But regardless of whatever business, even if you was to start a traditional business, any business you was to start, you will face challenges. And some people, unfortunately, they're just not made for that. When a challenge hits them, they just want to escape.
Right.
They don't want to. They can't bear it.
Falling at the first hurdle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
But I'm saying, is that always a negative thing? Because some people, for example, might want to be in control of their time in a way in which they know, right, cool, I'm at work at this time. When I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm away from work, I'm completely away from work. I'm not ever thinking about it. Maybe some people, they actually prefer that. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't deny that running your own business or being an entrepreneur, work for yourself, regardless of what you do have to discipline yourself more.
Yes.
You do have to work more than the average person. Even though you're not necessarily working in an office, you're still working more. You're thinking about work more. You're thinking about money more. Perhaps some people prefer not to.
Oh no, 100%. I agree with you. Some people just prefer just a normal life,
It's
working
easy.
for someone else.
Yeah, you can turn up to your job and have no stress and no worries.
Yeah.
But do you think if people are really honest with themselves, and if they're really honest with themselves, that they would want that time, that leverage, basically, that time and money and that
I
freedom?
suppose you're right. But it's just about whether they're willing to sacrifice. Like, obviously, everybody would want that.
Yeah.
But we don't know if they would want to put in what would want to sacrifice. So it depends. If you're willing to sacrifice, I suppose, a lot for it, then the results are better. But if you're not, then
I agree. I definitely try and empower and motivate people that work for me to do their own thing, to be their own boss. Not even to have the financial gain. It's that freedom, and be able to do what you want, to be able to go where you want, and not have to show up for someone else and fulfill someone else's dream. So I almost feel like that time is the value more than the money. Obviously, we need the money to pay our bills and to survive. But I think if you can get that time leverage, which can allow you a bit more time to do what you really want to do, I think that's people really need to buy into that rather than the money and having the status of being a boss and being an entrepreneur. Allow the status. It's just giving yourself that time and leverage.
Yeah, I agree that the idea of having freedom of time and money is what is like on this dunya anyway. Is like the ultimate goal in it.
Yeah.
It's like you get the freedom of time, you get freedom of money. You can do what you want with your time, and your money's not going to go down. And you can, like Abdul Sharif is saying, go on holidays when you want to go on holidays, go see family. You can prioritize what's important in life. It's just about getting to that. If getting to that point was easy, everybody would be doing it. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I mean, the thing is, it's like how I see it is, I would ask someone a question. I mean, because some people, they are comfortable, and you're absolutely right. They just prefer to be safe and work for someone else. But when I ask them the question, would you rather continue pursuing with your job and, stay in that job and, continue staying there, or would you rather continuously stay with your family, whether you have a daughter or a son? And they always choose family over working for someone else. But in reality, if you think about it, look, our life expectancy here in the dunya is what, 60, 70, 80 years?
Average, yeah.
And I think now for women, retirement for women now is gone up to 72. And for men, it's about 75.
Wow.
Right? So if you actually think about it, people need to work until they hit that age.
Until they die, basically.
Until they die, basically. And if you think about it, Allah didn't put us in this dunya just to consistently work for someone else. I mean, even our Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he had a business.
Right.
So we always have to follow his footpath. And of course, like you said, running your own business is not for everyone. But of course, if they continuously work, if you actually think about it, most of their life is spent on working. I was actually watching this documentary, I forgot to tell you. And it was about elderly people, things that they regret about life.
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
We actually want to get an old person on this show. I'm not even joking. We really want to get a really old person on the show and just grill them and ask them questions about life and try and get a head start.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary and it was just literally, it was about elderly people and talking about regrets of life. And literally 98% of them said one of the biggest regrets they had in life is of always working.
No way.
Always working. And the thing is like, you're always working. But when you're in that, because I've been in that environment where you're doing 9 to 5, time just goes so quick and you just don't realize that you're working and you're living off the weekend, but you just, your mind is so used to it that you're not realizing that you're giving most of your years to a company.
Yeah.
You know, where a company can literally
a
company can literally just disregard you just like that. Like, how many people have we heard of who have been made redundant? I mean, do you guys remember the company Phones for You?
Yeah.
I mean, look at if you actually look at the employees there, there's probably people that probably financed a car, probably sent their kids to private school, and all of a sudden, the company shut down. Everyone lost their jobs. So you can imagine being in a job is just it's not the most secure thing. People think it is, but really and truly, it's not. Because look, when they die, their vacancy goes to someone else. Whereas if you've built a sustainable business, your own company, or you're making residual income, you can will that to your loved ones. If you was to pass away today, you can literally give that to someone else. Write your will and give it to someone else. You know what I mean? And to me, inshallah, when I have kids, that's I want to think 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, when I have children, I want to make sure that generations to come, they're going to be okay. You know what I mean? Sure. And with me having a job, I know that my boss won't give my future son a role in that company. So you know what I mean?
So you're building it yourself.
Yeah. So it's not, and the thing is, honestly, it's not just about money. It's about the freedom. It's about the time, having time to do the things you want to do, whether it's spending time with your family. Because every single person, I'm telling you now, the main reason why they have a job is for money, because they have to pay the bills, they have to pay the rent, and life's hard. But really and truly, they don't want to be in that job. The only reason why they're there is because they have to be there to pay for certain things. They have a responsibility, basically. So.
You were saying earlier that when you started business at 23, you had some friends who, or your friends were kind of like reluctant about it or negative about it.
Yeah.
There is like this like massive, humongous stigma that like seems to never go away with network marketing and businesses around that. Why do you think that is? Why is it that when someone will say something like that they're doing ACN or network marketing, that all of a sudden everyone around them is... And me being one of them, like the type of person who be like, oh, that sounds dodgy, or it sounds like a scam. You being someone who is more around it, and me being completely uneducated on it, why does that stigma exist?
Well, look, I mean, the first time I've come across to network marketing, it was a case for me where, because I'm a very skeptical person myself.
Same.
And and I've done a lot. I've done my due diligence and so on. And of course, there are, in the world today, the society we live in, there's a lot of scams going out there. I mean, I sometimes I get text messages asking me about my iTunes account. Yeah. And when I look into it, the email address seems like a Nigerian email address. So it's like, of course, you do get a lot of scams out there and whatnot. However, it's all about knowledge. The more knowledge you have on something, is the more you can follow it. And the thing is, it's about making sense as well. And the reason why majority of people today, they look at network marketing as a scam, a pyramid, is because, of course, there are pyramids out there. But what is a pyramid scheme? Now, a pyramid scheme, number one, it's not sustainable. Number two,
so just for the layman out there, a network marketing isn't the same as like a pyramid scheme?
No.
Okay.
A network marketing, it's a legitimate business.
Okay.
It's direct selling. Whereas a pyramid scheme is known as a scam.
Okay.
It's not legitimate. It's not sustainable. It's illegal. It's not. Yeah, it can't sustain for long.
Okay.
You know, and obviously in every business, it's all about longevity. That's what makes it a success. So with a pyramid scheme, how it works is basically, let's just say you was to join a pyramid scheme, and then you was to get a couple of people to join you. Now, whatever they pay in terms of their fee, you make a percentage of that.
Okay.
And that's also in our religion, that's haram as well. It's not halal, because you're benefiting from other people's money. Does that make sense? So only the person at the top can benefit the most, and every person below them won't benefit because it's not sustainable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas a network marketing business, how it works is you only get paid for customers. So if you was to build a distribution, right, with people, every customers that they get, you get paid for it. I'll give you an example. If you look at some of the most successful businesses today, they're basically like network marketing. If you look at Uber, right? Uber is the #1 taxi company in the world, but they do not own a single vehicle, right? Now, who owns the vehicles? It's the people.
Yeah.
But would you agree with me, the CEO makes a percentage from every single vehicle that is hired?
Yeah.
Now, would you agree with me, Uber's not a pyramid scheme?
Yeah.
That's just working smart.
Yeah.
If you look at McDonald's as well, they make over 80 million pounds every single week. Now, if there was only one McDonald's in central London, do you think it's possible for them to make that sort of income?
Impossible.
It's impossible. So McDonald's, they literally had to franchise. Now they have over 37,000 restaurants all around the world. This is how they make a consistent income. So it's about franchising with distributions. And how do McDonald's do it? With people. How do Uber do it? With people. It's the same thing with Airbnb. They're literally the #1 real estate company in the world, but they do not own a single real estate.
Yeah.
But the way they do it is with people. Again, people that own real estates, that's how they build their network, their franchise. And the CEO makes a hell of a lot of money. Same thing with Facebook. You know, they're the #1 content provider in the world.
There's no concept.
But they are not the people who provide the content. It's the people. We're the ones that have accounts, user accounts, and we go on Facebook, and that's how Mark Zuckerberg gets paid.
Yeah.
And there's over like 1.8 billion users now, I think.
1.8 billion, yeah.
Yeah, 1.8 billion users, and for every user, I think Mark gets about $20 to $30 for every single user on Facebook. So this is what creates leverage. So with network marketing now, how it works is exactly the same way, but literally it's less of a risk because it's been around for a long time. Success stories have been proven, and there's a successful track record. So you can literally start a business from home by paying a small amount of fee, and then of course building the distribution again, just like how McDonald's, Airbnb, Uber do, with a network of people that have customers. And this is how you're gonna make a residual income every single month. And that's what literally separates network marketing to a pyramid scheme. And this is why the people that are negative, they just don't have the knowledge.
Right.
And you know, if you actually think about it, with every business out there, you know, there's going to be good reviews and there's going to be bad reviews. That's why even I'm sure on YouTube, if someone was to create a video, there's going to be likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
That's just people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's with everything. With music, some people like music, some people don't like music. Depends what artist. Some people don't like the. So regardless of anything, there's always going to be people that have good things to say about it and bad things to say about it. I mean, even if you was to Google scam, they say Google will search up things where they say that Google is a scam.
Yeah.
So it's literally, it's either you follow, and me, when I kind of looked into this, is either I made a decision, okay, am I going to follow the masses, or am I going to see if this works for myself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and of course, what it's done for me, alhamdulillah, like, it's, alhamdulillah, man, it's done a lot for me, you know, for me and my family.
So it's evidently has worked for you, hasn't it?
Alhamdulillah. And it's not just myself. There's a lot of people that, you know, from our team and so on, who have become very successful within our industry. And, you know, it's just provided us with freedom, you know. And now, you know, I'm following exactly what Robert Kiyosaki says on the cash flow quadrant. So when you're a business owner, when you have franchises and you have more time and money, you can start investing your money. And I've now become an investor. So it's like anything I see that has potential in it, I invest. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's literally the best thing.
That's
to do
almost
now.
the stages, isn't it? You climb it, and
then your money works for you,
yeah,
basically.
and then you get to the position where you're the investor, and
Yeah.
So
Alhamdulillah.
with the kind of lifestyle where you have a successful business to such a big level, how do you keep a balance of deen and dunya, and how would you I would love to talk about deen and dunya and how you kind of see that balance in your head.
Well, the thing is, ever since now I have more time and more money, I honestly believe all this wealth is being given to me by Allah. Like, of course, you know, you have to work for it, but I made a lot of dua and Allah has answered my dua, because it was, I come from a very rough background. Obviously South London, living in a council estate and so on, it's not the best thing. So I was always praying to Allah for just something where I can just become successful in. And alhamdulillah, Allah's given me this. And because not everyone succeeds in this industry, you know, not everyone succeeds. There's people that are much more educated than me, much smarter than me, more talented, you know, work harder than me, but they don't get what I get. So I honestly believe it's from the will of Allah that I am where I am.
Okay.
However, with more time and money, I've just within building my business and so on, it's just grown me, not just financially and, you know, physically and so on, but it's grown me spiritually as well, because now I have more time to, you know, to focus on deen, you know. Alhamdulillah, like, I just managed to gain more knowledge as well. Because obviously, through the hardships that I went through as well, when I got tested and so on, that's what got me closer to Allah, you know. And it's just allowed me to just spiritually grow. And, you know, regardless of how much money you make in this dunya, at the end of the day, we're all gonna go to the same grave. So it's humbled me a lot. That's why some people, they make a hell of a lot of money, but their arrogance builds and builds, and they become very arrogant. And one thing that my mentor told me is that, you know, in order to be a successful person, it's not about how much money you have in your account, it's by the level of humbleness that you are as a person. And that's how you're going to attract more people as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it makes a lot of sense what you're saying, like, in the sense that the more more money you have, then the more freedom you have of your time. The more freedom you have of your time, you have more time to use that time for the sake of Allah. So you start having no excuses not to go to Salah 5 times
Exactly,
a day, mosque, or
exactly.
learn more about it, go to classes, because you're not stuck in your job and stuff like that. So
exactly. And to me, I know on the day of judgment, this is something Allah's going to ask me, because Allah's going to say, look, you had all this time, you know, all this wealth I've given you, what have you done with it?
Right.
I'm going to be questioned on the day of judgment. So, and of course, the people who have more wealth, they're going to be questioned even more what they've done with it. Mm-hmm. So I know I have a responsibility as a Muslim man to, you know, do the valuable things, what's right with the deen in the dunya, in order for me to get to Jannah. So, because I know that this didn't just happen just from my hard work. Right. I know that it's written by Allah, and I know it's a test at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Do you feel it's interesting, because you often, like, our wealth is first and foremost a test from Allah, and Allah says in His book that our wealth and our children are nothing but a test. It's not a reward. It's not like if you've got lots of money, Allah's necessarily pleased with you or trying to reward you in this life. It's merely a test.
Yeah.
The reward is in the hereafter. Yeah. And I read that the other day, and it's powerful, because I think people can think, imagine if you gain a lot of wealth and you think, alhamdulillah, Allah's blessed me and He's chosen me and I'm special. Nah. Really, it's the test with inside it. So it's almost like you've received your wealth, but you're not blinded by that, and you're very, very aware it's from Him, and you have to answer to Him about what you did with it. Exactly. I think that's where the humbleness comes from. I think being God conscious and having money, when you're aware of where that money actually came from, and the fact, obviously, you did the means, you did the hard work, the early starts, the late nights. Of course, you did that, but end of the day, it's all from Him, and it's not like you've you've put on your shoulders of, look, I've done this, I've achieved this, I'm a hard worker, this is what I've done.
Yeah.
You're very you're conscious of the reality of your wealth.
100%.
So it's almost like it's even brought you closer to Allah.
100 million%. I mean, now it's, you know, just helping people as well. It's rewarding. You know what I mean? Just helping people. I mean, I remember when I hit a certain position, I made a certain amount and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, it was a great feeling. But then there's someone in my team who I mentored, and you know, when they hit the top, they just one time they just come up to me and said, "Look, Abdul, because of you, because of your help, I'm in this position now. I could just never thank you enough. Thank you so much for changing my life." And honestly, to me, that was literally a much better feeling than when I hit the top. It's just getting that from someone, you know, just saying thank you to me for changing their life. It's an unbelievable feeling. And
that goes hand in hand with the network marketing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about helping people.
Exactly. It's all about helping people.
Yeah.
And not just with network marketing, even just with, you know, if someone's not interested in network marketing, if you meet someone, it's always just good just to help them. Whatever it is, it could be anything, you know, and that's literally what I'm all about, just helping people, man, whether it's financially, spiritually, as much as I can do, because I'm trying to get my good deeds as up as I can, because I know when I die, that's all I'm gonna have. You know, so that's.
So you're on a mission to help people, yeah.
Yeah, just consistently just help people, you know, just being
Mashallah.
genuine.
And that makes you feel the best you could feel possibly, yeah. So rather than you getting lots of money, but by you helping people change people's life for the better, that's where you're getting.
100%. I mean, if you actually think about it, right? There's so many rich people out there, but why is it that there's so many rich people but they're depressed? Committing suicide, depressed, going on drugs? It's because they have that emptiness in them. You know, Allah says if you forget him, he will make you will forget yourself. You know what I mean? So that's why ever since I got to this position, I'm just always grateful. Every morning when I wake up, I say alhamdulillah. Like it's a real blessing, you know what I mean? Just to be able to have time just to help more people, put more time in your deen, just more time with your family, you know. And it's just allowed me, I mean, haven't we created a much better bond ever since? Like it's just allowed me to create a much closer bond with my family, you know, and it's an amazing feeling, alhamdulillah, man. Very humbled by it.
Sam, you mentioned something just now. You said about like money not always being like a reward, but being a test as well. And it reminded me of something that Kareem sent me on WhatsApp. He sent me like this like paragraph from a book, and actually let me read it first and then we'll talk about it. Yeah, but it's like you have to like kind of listen to it because it's a bit much. It goes, so it says, likewise, when you are overjoyed or distressed due to some monetary gain or loss, remember the statement of Muhammad ibn Suqqa, who said, there are two characteristics which, even though Allah does not punish us for them, are reason enough for our punishments. And then it says, we are overjoyed at a small gain that we receive from this world, and yet Allah has never seen us so happy for a good deed that we do. And we are so worried about a small matter that has missed us concerning this world, and yet Allah has never seen us so worried about a sin that we commit. Bruv, I've never read something like that. I was like, what? And I started thinking to myself, like, because you know when, like, let's say you get like a monetary, like, let's say you sign a new client or you sign a new deal or something, and it's like a big contract, yeah, and you get so happy, like, you're in sujood to Allah and be so grateful to him and thank him so much. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying, I thought to myself, like, I always thought to myself that when I'm like showing that gratitude to Allah, that it's a good thing, and I'm sure still that it's a good thing, but it's kind of like also a bad thing that I don't show that much gratitude when, like, Allah, the simple things, like He's allowed me to wake up before Fajr and pray. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not like, oh, thank you Allah for allowing me to pray, like, and you get so gassed off that emotion, but you get gassed when you get a bit of money, like, and then likewise, then when you get sad or so upset or like distraught that something's missed you that's concerning this world, but then when you commit a sin, you're not that upset.
Why I speak generally, why are we so like obsessed with money and obtaining wealth and stuff? Is why do you think we are? Like, because it is, for me, it does make you want, it's one of the best feelings it's a really, really good feeling
Yeah.
when you let's just say you secure a deal or something and you feel a little bit more financially up. It's a great feeling. It's a security. You feel excited what you can do with it. It gives you, opens loads of doors. I'm going to be honest, it makes me feel great. And you're saying, you know, we can say thanks for that. Why don't we say thanks for the smaller things? It's almost like we've got it. We've been creating a certain way. We've got it all out of perspective, actually, of where we hold our values and what should be number one.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? That's actually a very good thing you're saying. I mean, how I see it is, if you actually think about it, if you just take all your wealth away and write down all your other blessings, you will realize there's blessings that we have that money cannot buy.
Yeah.
And I think when you tell yourself that, when you remind yourself that,
Yeah.
that's what kind of like makes you be like, even if you had just a pence in your account, you will still be happy because you've got everything that money can't buy. You know what I mean? And that's how I
sure.
That's how I see things.
It's because it's like someone said to me a couple of months ago about we need to be grateful with the fact that we can actually relieve ourselves correctly. Now, without going into it too much, I'm sure we've all experienced maybe being a bit blocked up or this, that, and the other, and how uncomfortable we feel, and it's like it's excruciating sometimes, or whatever it is. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, the fact that we can actually go to the toilet and actually, you know, empty ourselves.
Yeah, money can't buy
these little things. You so forget like these blessings, but they're major because there's some people like who suffer with a lot worse than just that. People who are bedridden, people who lose legs, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for my legs, I'm thankful for my eyesight, my hands, everything. But we do forget. It's in our nature, obviously, to almost forget the small blessings. And well, that's for me anyway.
I'll read you another excerpt from the same book that he sent me as well. And this also hit me because I feel like it related to me. So it says this:
Go on.
Every person has a particular limit on his or her level of restraint. It is possible that a particular person, if blessed with a large amount of wealth, would not be able to control illicit urges and thus disobey Allah with such wealth. Therefore, the fact that Allah has not blessed such people with so much wealth is a manifestation of Allah's mercy towards them.
Subhanallah, man. Wow.
It's true. But I think to myself, like, if I had a certain level of money, bro, I don't know if I could trust myself.
Crazy.
Do you know what I mean? But
this is what I mean. But this is how mysterious Allah works, right? Because I'm gonna be real. The first when I was about 24, right? The first set of money that I've earned was about the first time I experienced wealth was about 24k in a month. And
was that when you were 24?
When I was 24, okay. Right? And what happened was I wasn't, I'm not gonna share my sins, but. Yeah. You know, I wasn't the best of the best Muslims, basically. And I kind of like, it kind of made me forget. But I've just thought I was this invincible human being. I thought I run everything, you know. And at the time, I was very arrogant. You know, I was just buying stupid stuff, just spending money. But then something happened to me, right? Which is quite personal. And I swear I remember this like it was yesterday. In that situation, my mum couldn't help me, my father couldn't help me, my brothers and sisters couldn't, my friends couldn't help me. I was in a situation where I couldn't be helped by no one. Yeah. No one, right? And it's like it forced me to literally go and ask Allah for help. Yeah. And this is when I started, because at the time I was facing depression as well. And I started watching, this is the first time I got introduced to Mufti Menk. I started watching his video. And then I met a good sister as well who was kind of guiding me and so on, saying, don't you pray, you should start praying and so on. But, you know, praying comes from the ones who are guided, you know. So I really felt like Allah's guided me. And I started watching a lot of Mufti Menk videos and just started gaining more knowledge. Yeah. And then ever since then, that's when everything changed for me. And obviously I was waking up for tahajjud and everything. I was making dua, and then my dua just got answered.
Yeah, and it's beautiful feeling.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful feeling. I remember I was in a position where I thought it was impossible to come out. I literally thought it was impossible, right? And I couldn't speak to no one about it. And subhanallah, thanks to the Almighty, he just, subhanallah, man, just thinking about
Seeing
it.
your smile when you think about it is beautiful in itself.
It's just thinking about it. And I'm so happy I went through that. That was the biggest hardship, the biggest test I went through. And alhamdulillah, I thank Allah every day that I went through that, because that is what made me the person I am today.
Really?
If that never happened to me, I don't know where I would be.
From about the age of 24, is that when you would say you were a bit more God conscious and you started practicing?
No, not the age of 24. At the age of 25, the 25, that's when the hardship.
Okay.
That's when the hardship hit me.
Right.
The whole year of 2014, 24, I was just making money, just doing my thing. But when I hit 25, that's when the biggest test hit me, and I experienced loss. I experienced a lot of things basically, and
but on the other
all
side
in one,
that,
you know.
if that brought you closer to Allah, and you started practicing more after that, would you say?
Yeah,
From that?
yeah, 100%. And then literally I've been keeping up, alhamdulillah, I've been keeping up with my prayers and everything, and that's what's made me the person I am today. I'm just much more, humble, aware of the akhirah now. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before I was just thinking about dunya, gains, dunya. I wasn't thinking about the akhirah. Whereas now, like I have the conscience of Allah is always in me. Do you know what I mean? Everything I do.
You're still very hungry for the dunya. I see you active, mashallah. You're making some serious movements, to be fair, mashallah. So how do you find the drive?
The drive for me now, I mean, before when I first started, the drive was just to retire my parents from work.
And you were able to do that?
And I was, alhamdulillah, I was able to do that.
Alhamdulillah.
But now my drive is genuinely just to help people and just to change the world, man. Because I just see so many people. Like, for example, I got on the train the other day on the underground. It was around 4:30 and coming into 5 o'clock. Around 5:30ish, I just see a lot of people getting on the train, and they just look miserable, man. They're like literally hanging on. And they just look miserable. Do you know what I mean? Like literally, like I was like, wow, man. If only I can just help these people and just show them there is another way, you know. And that's where I get the hunger from. Just literally.
That's your drive in the morning to get up.
That's my drive, just to get up and just help as many people. Because if I can be helped, coming literally from a normal average background, I'm sure many people who would want that lifestyle, they can be helped as well. Do you know what I mean? And not just with network marketing, in anything, you know what I mean? Like, if I can help someone, if they come to me and say, thank you for helping me, that just makes me feel good, you know? And I literally don't...
You're very sincere. I know you're sincere. You're being sincere. You genuinely want to help and give back, don't you?
Yeah, and I literally, you know, I don't do it now for the sake of money, because alhamdulillah, I don't need to now, do you know what I mean? And it's just literally now for me, it's literally just about helping people.
Do you find that being in the industry that you're in, that often when you say stuff like that, you just want to help people and that you just want to help people have freedom, that kind of stuff, that you're often your sincerity is second guessed a lot because of the industry that you're in?
Well, the thing is, it's like how I see it is, you know, at the end of the day, you know, alhamdulillah, my dream has already been built.
Yeah.
People are always going to have opinions no matter what.
Right.
So of course, some people, they think I'm not sincere, but some people, they know I'm sincere,
right.
You know, and it's
you
usually the real people.
Yeah,
it's usually the real ones who, because you know when you meet someone fake, you just know you just know, innit?
Yeah.
Like the impression that you get, you just know. You get that vibe, that energy, man.
Yeah,
and
that energy.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Nah, Jack, I don't get it for you.
You're trying to make out that I'm fake.
I'm joking.
So it's like you just get that vibe from them. Do you know what I mean? And those are the most people that just think I'm not sincere. It's just basically the fake people. But that's the thing. Yeah. Everyone has their own opinions, and you can't really control that.
Yeah, if you sit there caring about what people think of you, you would go back
lock
into
yourself
depression,
in a room.
bro. Yeah, of course, man. Like, if you're, I remember when I first got like 1 or 2 negative comments on YouTube, and I would really look at them. Really. Now, if I see a negative comment, I like it. It just doesn't even go like.
You've got to expect it. I think you have to expect it in life. If you're going to do anything and you're going to be out there doing anything, you're going to get love, but you're going to get hate. It's almost like just expect it, and when it comes, just be prepared just to let it go. Yeah, because that is the reality. Like everyone and anyone on any kind of platform, there's so much they get. If they're successful, they get a lot of good, but there's so much hate. Even the big celebrities, successful people in the world, whether it's through film, business, TV, they've obviously got huge fan bases, but they've also got a huge amount of people who probably really, really heavily dislike them. They probably receive hate mail, death threats, evil stuff. It's almost like if you want to be successful, you just have to bat it off, don't you?
Yeah,
The
I mean-
hate's gonna come. You just got to bat it off.
I was even with Mufti Menk. I mean, we all know Mufti Menk. He's a great guy. I mean, I actually had the privilege to
You
meet
met
him.
as well.
Oh, you met him, Faisal?
Yeah, me and him have similar hands actually, but I'll show you that story.
He's a great guy. I mean,
Yeah.
even him, I've seen some of his videos where, obviously, sometimes when you watch a YouTube video, you like to kind of look at the comments, what people say. And some of the comments are negative.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been refuted heavily.
It's
Mufti Menk, to be
crazy.
fair. Yeah,
Obviously, some of the jokes he says, some people just find it inappropriate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't find it inappropriate, you know? And that's the thing. Like, even someone like him,
That's a
he
good
gets
example.
negative.
It's a good example because there's. I mean, I'm sure you would agree. You know, a lot of people who probably wouldn't even listen to Mufti.
Yeah.
There's people who outright refute him. They say that his
Yeah.
words are evil. I've heard people say his words are evil. which is-
Really?
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
But this is the reality. Isn't this an example? This is the reality of this dunya. There's so many. You can't win everyone over. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
it's
not.
true,
That's
it's
not
true,
reality.
it's
There's
true.
always going to be those haters and the
It's
people
true.
refuting you and denying you, etc.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's just it. That's just it.
I was gonna say, even with you know, your CAF 59,
Yeah.
or Menspire,
Of
you
course, all the time.
Yeah.
And I have done over the years. And there's always.
you as a YouTuber, Faisal, you must
Yeah.
get it,
Most
man.
definitely.
But
most
you
definitely.
it's almost like if I'm not getting it, I don't think I'm doing something right. And that's not
Yeah.
that I welcome any kind of hate, but if I'm not pushing forward, trying to do something good, there's going to be people out there who are jealous of it. If there's not people showing that kind of hate, I don't think you're doing it right anyway. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
People who, like, for instance, Josh, my business partner,
Yeah.
guy inspires me to a whole nother level. He's incredible, and how he talks, everything. But you put him out there on a pedestal. There'll be people who will try and criticize just anything, and
It's
I think
true.
it stems from jealousy. It stems from they can't get their head around how people do certain
Very
things.
true,
How, you
very
know what I mean? I think it all stems from that jealousy, and
Very-
you know, that's unfortunately that's what it is.
Abdul Sharif, what you like with? Do you indulge often? Like Sam loves shopping. He took me shopping once. Are you a multiple
Indulge?
shopper? Yeah, you can.
Buying material items.
Yeah, just like there's nothing wrong with indulging in a bit of self love.
The thing is, with
Don't ask this brother that question.
it's okay. The thing is, in the beginning, yes, it was like that. You know, when I first earned my set amount, I was quite indulged. I was just spending.
I'm not saying it's a negative
ridiculously.
thing.
No.
Yeah, it's always good to
You
treat yourself.
planning on getting anything.
Oh yeah, but you know, it's like one of them ones where you don't like to say.
Secret.
It's
Yeah.
like you want to just keep that on
Fine.
the low kind
And
of.
then all of a sudden
Sort
it
like
was-
Hassad, evil eye, and people being like, obviously, we're very aware of Hassad, evil eye, people looking
Yeah.
at you and being envious of what you've
Well,
got.
that's the thing. Sometimes I try my best to just, you know, not indulge too much because I don't. Sometimes, like if you look at Floyd Mayweather, like that guy indulges, right? And
It's a whole other level, isn't it? That's
to a whole nother level. And the thing is, he's actually a genuine person. He's actually a good guy. But the way society sees him, because he buys so much materialistic stuff, he just comes across as arrogant. And the thing is, I try my best. I don't want to be fitted in that kind of category. Hence why I try my best to control myself. And of course, it is haram in our religion to just spend on stupid things.
Right.
Things that, and one thing I always ask myself, because before I was like that, I was very extravagant. I was used to spend ridiculously. But now, now that I've become more humble, you know, everything I purchase, I always look at it and I say, right, do I need this or do I want this?
Right.
If I need it, of course, I'll buy it. But it's like, if I want it, I just buy it because I just want it. Do you know what I mean? And of course, sometimes we want to buy things just because we want it. It looks good, so we want to buy it, which is okay. But sometimes when it's too much, it can become addictive.
Okay. Yeah.
To the point where
Spending
it
can
can
be
lead
very addictive.
you very,
It
very
is
addictive.
It's addictive thing, isn't it? 100%.
That's why I try
Why
my
smiling?
best.
Because it is. It really
Yeah, no,
is an
it is,
addictive
it
thing.
is,
Like,
It is very addictive. But that's the thing. Of course, in terms of, you know, I like to buy nice things. I
Yeah,
like
of
to,
course.
you know, just treat myself every now and then. But I always make sure I control myself. I don't allow to go overboard. If you
Do you
know
have
what I
like
mean.
financial advisors and stuff? You have
Yeah,
mentors,
yeah,
you
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah.
mentors.
I have mentors and financial.
We spoke about
advisors.
mentorship really early on in Professional Brand. Speak
We
about how
did, yeah.
important
Yeah.
we think it is in like every aspect of life.
100%. It's so having a mentor. I actually have 4 mentors, and you know, in different things, in fitness, in religion, in financial, like it's just, and health as well. It's just good to have mentors, because mentors can just guide you to just becoming a better person.
Because they've
You know what I
been there,
mean?
done it.
Exactly. They've been there, done it. Someone more wise, someone older than you as well, someone who can kind of guide you along the way in your finances and so on. You definitely need a mentor in order to become successful. If I never had my mentors, I wouldn't be where I am. 100% not. Because they teach you how to solve problems, how to deal with things when problems occur and so on. So having a mentor is important.
How do you actively find a mentor?
Well, the thing is, how you actually find the mentor, that's actually a very good question. It depends in terms of, if you see someone where they're in a position where you want to be in,
That's your mentor.
that's basically your mentor.
Yeah.
You want to copy exactly what they do.
Yeah.
So if let's just say, I don't know, you want to look fit and you want to have a nice body. If you see someone that's got the kind of shape that you want to be in, you need to ask them, say, look, how do you get this body? Like, I want the body you have. What are you eating? What's your workout routines? You know, like I want to know everything.
How do you balance
And then it just
mentor
happens.
fitness-wise?
It just happens naturally. Like
Yeah, it does.
they just become your mentor and they teach you what they know, so you can achieve what you want to achieve.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's basically how you find mentors.
So you've got a couple of mentors, yeah?
Yeah, I got about 4. Yeah.
Would you say you're actively looking for new mentors? If you saw someone doing something great, is it something that you're actively looking for new people to in your life that you can be inspired from?
Yeah, no, 100. Because there's always room for improvement. I mean, like, if I want to do something, there's always room for improvement. So, for example, my 4 mentors, there's one that tells me about finances, tells me the right things to invest in, and so on. One with my health, gym, and so on.
Do you pay your mentors?
No.
Okay.
This is free. Because the thing is, we built that relationship.
Right.
And it's all about building relationships. Whereas when you pay someone,
It's a service. Yeah, I hear that.
It's not natural. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you just want to have that bond, that relationship, rather than paying someone for their service. It's like you're paying for friendship.
I ask because I know somebody who is very successful. He works for an oil company in Saudi, and he actually has mentors as well, and he really promotes mentors. But I know he pays for his time with the mentor, so he'll have like a 30-minute Skype chat, and he'll pay for that 30-minute slot with that mentor. So, but he finds it very beneficial. So that's why I was asking. I don't know if it's
The thing is, I would pay someone for a course if they're going to teach me something.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, that I'll pay for their service.
but not for like their time to listen to. It feels a bit
Yeah, but
fake, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel very sincere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
It's like
like
they
for-
literally for your money, they can tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Exactly. And with me, if someone needed my advice on something, you know, I'm not gonna. I'll feel very awkward to charge someone just to give them financial advice. You
But
know what I mean?
your experience is valuable though. So if you see that how it could be people would pay for it, I suppose.
Yeah, but me personally, I just don't feel
do it,
right
yeah.
He
doing
loves
that.
giving, man. Let him have
Yeah.
that reward. That's
No charge.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just rather just build a
your
relationship.
bills with Allah, man. You'll get that on the day of judgment.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Exactly, and that to me, that's
Yeah.
that's more valuable than anything. You know what I mean? So
Okay, so we spoke a lot about like money and success, stuff like that, and I know that's not just like the sole thing that you're about and that kind of stuff. I'd love to delve like kind of deeper. I really want to speak about your speaking because I love public speaking, and when I see some of your videos on Instagram, you're speaking in front of like arenas. How many
Yeah.
people? What's the biggest amount of people you've spoken in front of?
30,000.
30,000. That is like one of my
30,000.
dreams.
Yeah.
Right? I absolutely love speaking.
Oh,
And
is that Rotterdam? 30,000,
Yeah, I mean that arena, you know, concerts, you know, people perform there and stuff.
That's
So it's,
insane.
Abdul Sharif performed
It's
there,
it's,
mashallah.
it's a great feeling. I mean,
how did you get the confidence? Have you always been confident, or I
Well,
suppose because you acting, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously when I was an actor, but the thing is, it's different, right? Because as an actor, you're a completely different character.
Right.
Whereas when I'm on stage speaking in front of people, it's me. It's Abdul Sharif. You know, it's me being myself, but just providing the knowledge that I've gained to people. So to me personally, the first time I did it, you know, when you're at the back, and, you know, people are putting some makeup on your face, they're micing you up, and said, okay, you ready? And then you just hear the crowd, like, it's like you're entering a football stadium,
Nice.
literally. And that kind of, even till this day, I still get nervous. I just get these shakes. Like when I'm about to go on stage, it's like, oh man, like, and I always, all the time, I always just pray, make dua that everything, I don't trip or, do you know what I mean? Because that's
every single time you talk in front of people. Was that?
Yeah.
You always feel it. You always feel a bit.
I always, till this day.
Yeah.
It's just a normal, natural thing.
When does the nerves go away? Because from the limited,
the moment when you start speaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well.
It just goes.
Because I don't have mad public speaking experience like yourself, but the times I have done it, I'm so nervous until I get in the flow of what I'm saying.
I've seen you present. You're very good, man.
I'm extremely nervous though.
No, but
I'm shaking my boots.
When I saw you present, literally, you didn't look nervous one bit.
I
You
watched that
looked
back
confident.
the other day. I watched that back the other day. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's good, man. Really good.
I felt extremely nervous, man.
And
you look very
you're making
confident.
jokes at the same time. I thought you looked very comfortable.
Yeah, same.
But I would love to speak in front of 30,000 people. It would be mad. But the nervous thing is huge. But like I say, like you, once you get in the flow of what you're saying, or like once you start speaking, it's okay. It's about initially like it's more fear of like. It's fear of the unknown in it more than anything.
The thing is, one thing I realized, human beings, and this is what's crazy, right? When we're about to do something, we have so much fear. We have doubts. What if this happens? What if that happens? But when you're in the moment,
You got no time to fear, right?
When you're in the danger zone, like you're actually doing it. All that fear just goes.
Yeah.
Like for example, I was in Dubai, right? I went skydiving, right? My experience, when I first booked skydiving, I was scared. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to commit suicide, right? What the hell? Like just thinking of jumping off a plane and landing on the ground.
Yo, Sam, we should do skydiving.
Inshallah.
Would you be on it?
Yeah, you guys should do it. You
Inshallah.
guys should do
Next
it,
month.
100%.
Inshallah.
But literally, like when I went on there, I was so scared. So much doubt. I was thinking, what if the parachute doesn't work and so on.
Where did you land? In the desert?
In the desert,
Oh,
yeah.
sick.
So literally, but the moment when I jumped and I was falling, it was the best feeling in the world.
Buzzing, yeah.
Oh man, the adrenaline,
Yeah.
the excitement, everything about it was just.
How long
sick.
does it last in the air?
About 5 minutes.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
a solid amount of time.
About 5
amount of
minutes.
time,
Yeah, about 5 minutes.
You're just like free falling for a certain amount of time as well, aren't you?
Yeah, you're just
The free falling must feel amazing.
It's just sick. The thing is, the moment when you're about to jump, you're like, oh my God, okay, we're gonna count to 3, and the guy's like 1,
Oh mate.
and he jumps at 2 because he
Yeah.
knows you will try hold
Yeah,
something
yeah,
by
yeah,
3.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
the moment when you're about to jump, you're looking at the ground. You're like, okay, this is the
go
moment.
against it,
Your
yeah.
heart's beating so fast. You're like, yeah, and then you just you know, it's
man,
amazing, man.
I'm so on
You should
that.
definitely do it.
Yeah, I
Faisal.
want to.
You should definitely.
Inshallah,
do it.
mate. Me and Sam might be able to do it next
Inshallah,
month.
man.
Inshallah, man.
Yeah, I'll be really scared.
I'm
but I'd love
surprised
to
as
do
well,
it.
to be fair. I'm surprised you're really keen
Really?
on it. Yeah. I thought you'd be quite anti it.
Yeah, same.
Not
Guys,
saying-
I'm a bit fun, you know.
No, you're fun. It's a big thing jumping out of a plane. You ready to jump out of a plane?
I don't know, but why do we just do it?
Okay, fine.
So loads of people do it and they don't die, innit? So,
Yeah. It's safe. It's actually.
Don't think about it, you're not gonna
very
die.
safe.
You're gonna
Yeah.
die.
But you don't know about you though, because you're 6 or 5.
It's the colour of Allah, man. If I die,
Yeah.
I die, man.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're 6'5", but and like the person who's like on your back,
exactly how I
imagine your
feel,
instructor is like a dwarf,
Yeah.
and obviously, well, he's an instructor. You can't be rude and like
No, no, no,
you just
but-
have to like be like, oh yeah, cool.
No, but
I'll be so gassed. I'll be filming.
But what actually happens is when you're actually signing up online,
Yeah.
they ask you for your weight and all of that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So they make sure they get someone who's, for example, if you're
I might
quite
get the
big,
dwarf then.
if you're quite big, they'll get someone who's quite small.
Oh, is it?
Oh really?
Yeah, because obviously with your weight
Oh.
in terms of the
The
parachute.
parachute, yeah, of course.
Exactly. And if you're small, they'll get someone big just so it balances
Right.
the parachute, if you know what I mean.
So I probably would have someone quite small.
Yeah.
You
So
would
that
have
wasn't a
someone
funny
quite
joke.
small,
I had someone very skinny.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would love to do it on my own though.
Yeah, I haven't got that knowledge. Have you got that knowledge to mess around with parachutes?
Red, do you really want to go there?
And then do it.
How much
No,
training
but
do you
you-
think
you
you'd have?
Guys,
training.
by the way, we have Red back after like 5 weeks.
Assalamualaikum, Red.
Waalaikum assalam alaikum.
Hello, Red. You got no mic though, have you? So,
Sorry, I got voice phone.
okay, beautiful.
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear
But
it.
how much training? You must have to do a lot of training before they let you jump
I
out.
know you can do a couple of courses to do it for
Really?
jumping up on your own. Yeah. I think it's a couple of weeks of training. And then
Must be some fair bit of training if they're allowing you to jump out of that plane on your ones.
How many of you guys jumped out at the time?
only one time.
So it was just you and the instructor on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't do like a group thing.
No. The
But
thing
you
is,
can,
when
so
you're,
like,
when
me
you're,
and Sam go on the same plane.
I think with that, you need, you can be on the same plane, but you jump
Yeah,
individually.
yeah. No, but I mean, how many people on your plane?
Oh, there was about seven
right.
people. Yeah. The thing is, whilst you're falling, you see humans flying around you, because some people, I don't know if you heard, in Dubai, they do this thing where they give you like wings and you can glide around, and you can literally, yeah, they do wingsuits and you can literally glide. So as I was falling, I just see humans flying everywhere. Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
But with that, in order to do that, you need to be trained about 2 months.
I would not want to do that.
Oh, you can't just
That I would not want to do.
Flying
And all you do, all you have to do
I'll be
is,
so
is
scared.
spread your arms
Yeah.
like that and then just tilt like this.
How do they land?
I think the way they
That part of
land is they press something here,
Yeah.
and then there's a parachute
Right.
that comes out. But they can go around the air for
Serious?
ages. Yeah. This is in Dubai. If you just type in on YouTube, Sky Dubai, there's loads.
I would not do. But is
Loads.
that who you did it with? Sky
Sky Dubai, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know the prices.
But
So-
yeah, just having that fear, going back to what I was saying, having that fear, going on the plane, you get scared and stuff, but when you jump, it's fine. And it's the same thing with speaking in front of so many people. At first, you get scared, you get nervous, but when you're in the flow of presenting, and you've kind of noticed this as well, it's just like you forgot about fear. The most dangerous zone, everything that you've been scared of, disappears.
Did you know that that I know? I mean, oh no, you do know. I actually saw one of your
This is how
Instagram
he
clips.
starts.
Yeah.
You
But I
say-
heard
say
it before as
Get
well.
him set himself. Get him set.
Oh,
Yeah, go on. You drop it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. The most
Main thing.
yeah.
This
The most
this is how you start most of your presentations. That sometimes.
No, that's actually the first time I started, because one of my mentors told me that.
Yeah, I've
He said-
definitely
It's
heard.
more fear than death, is it?
Yeah.
I'm a
So
mentor who does it.
the most three things that people fear the most.
That's right.
The first thing is flying on a plane, right? If you actually think about it, even people that are CAFs, when the plane's turbulence, they say, "Oh my God," and they don't even believe in God. They fear it. So that's number one, flying on the plane. The second most feared thing is public speaking, and the third most feared thing is death.
That's
so people rather
mad.
die than
Public.
public speak. It's crazy.
That also shows like the state of like this world, because like the one thing that we should fear the most is Allah, really, in it. Like,
Yeah,
mad.
but statistically,
Yeah, statistically, like that's not even in there. No one fears God.
They have that statistically. The fear of God is number one.
Yeah, of
for human
course.
beings. It should be that.
It should be that
Course,
100%.
course.
100%.
So how often do you speak, and when was the last time you spoke?
Last time I spoke was last Sunday.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
how many people was that in front of?
Around 400 people
Okay, and how do you speak every week?
every week.
Well, how often do you do the big events in front of thousands?
Oh, that's twice a year. So I'm actually flying out to Madrid. I forgot what the arena's called, but we're flying out to Madrid, and that's the next place where I'm going to be speaking in front of a massive audience.
Wow.
Thousands.
How long do you have on stage? Like half an hour?
Half an hour. Because if you actually think about it, when you're on stage for so long, it's very hard to keep the audience engaged with the speaker, because scientifically it's proven that human beings, they tend to turn off after 10 minutes, listening to someone for 10 minutes, and then after that they turn off. So it's all about being as engaging as possible and keeping it short. And I just never like to kind of like go on and on and on. I keep my things very, very short. when
How
I
do you
speak.
keep them engaging? Do you bust any jokes?
Yeah, I bust a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bust a lot of jokes.
I feel like jokes always help.
Jokes always helps. Just making them laugh, interacting
Yeah,
with them.
yeah.
It's all about just showing your character, really, just busting jokes. And sometimes I do impersonations of people.
Really,
and
like
stuff.
how?
Well, people say I have a very good. People say I have a very good Mickey Mouse impersonation.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you, I mean, you need to hear that now.
All right.
Hear it.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello there, fella. Welcome to Disney World.
Oh wow! But how do you incorporate that into your speaking?
Well, I don't actually incorporate Mickey Mouse into my speaking, but
Okay.
sometimes, for example, I would impersonate an old lady.
Okay.
Me and my mentor do this a lot. Like they'll say, "Oh well, that person over there said it's a scam. What the hell is that?" We say things like that, so
Okay.
people start to laugh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Do you ever do public speaking with like two of you on stage at the same time?
no,
Okay.
no, it's always one, because obviously we don't want someone to steal our shine. You know what I mean? Like,
I really want to eventually do like live events with Sam, like Freshly Ghana. I think we'd be so sick. I think we could like put together like a proper good show.
that would be a very good thing, man.
We could just, but it would just be like quite well. It would have to be scripted, like all over.
I've seen your recent video with the 100,000 subscribers, and Sam comes in, takes his keys. He forgot something.
Oh yeah. Let's say he's
that was
like Sam has it. You know, when we do our like sketches and stuff, like Sam plays his role really well. Like, because I think like with like acting or performing or anything, or like anytime you're like in front of an audience, you have to know what like your strengths are, what your role is, and play towards it.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you have to remove ego, right?
100%.
Often, like when I'm like busting joke, like in my vlogs or in sketches and stuff like that, like all my audience know that. Like I always like make myself like the butt of the joke because it works. Like I'm small. I'm like I make myself like seem like not very like intelligent, and I make myself about the joke, but my wife will often say like, why do you always like making a joke out of yourself? And I'm like because it works. But in order to
But that's what makes you
right,
though,
but in order
that,
to make yourself about the joke, you can't have ego, because you're not exactly coming across like a hard man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to like so I think once you know what works for you or what role like work, and I think Sam figured out, and that's someone who like has no experience with like performing like videos or anything, and like he's found his like thing that like it makes him funny. Do you know what I mean? Or like makes him perform, and it looks natural. Because you agree with me as an actor, the worst thing is seeing someone acting who's really bad at acting.
100%.
And it looks awkward, and like you know, like the facial expression, and it's like so embarrassing. And I've had to do like I used to do this series on YouTube called Emotional Interviews.
Yeah.
And I would like require the other person to like act somewhat, and I actually ended up changing the script up so much so that they don't have to act, because a lot of the times like because I'd go in not knowing someone like someone's like acting ability, for example, and it would be really difficult. And so the way I ended up doing it is I would say to the person, look, your only job is to be you and be serious, because everyone can act serious. It's not hard. You just have to like be yourself and like be serious. And I'll like over exaggerate on like my side, and then it will like the balance will work out, and it has worked out so well. But yeah, man, you like found your like.
Well, that's the thing. It's saying that what you just said is actually very interesting about the face expressions, because what they taught us in drama school at the time when I used to go to the academy, film acting and theatrical acting is two completely different types of acting.
I got taught the same thing.
And basically in theatre you have to do more of the face expressions and really show your face, whereas with film acting, if you actually analyze, observe actors in films, number one, they never blink, and number two, they never move their eyebrows. They have to be very, very concerned with their face expression, because if they do more expressions, it just looks fake.
It looks fake. So yeah, I got taught the same. So I studied theatre until I was 16. And
did they teach you? You know the way you speak in terms of how you pronounce certain words and that. Did they teach you that in theatre?
No, they don't teach that.
Okay, they taught us this thing.
I went to a really bad school.
Elocution lessons. They didn't.
No, we didn't learn that.
Basically, there's something that we learned, right? And most English people can't even pronounce this. So, all I want is a proper cup of coffee. Made
I learned that.
You learned that one, yeah? What about this one? I saw him on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking and amicably welcoming him in.
No, I didn't learn that one. Nah.
That was pretty sick, right?
That's very
and
sick.
that if you can pronounce, they always used to like basically
Bang that again. That last bit.
All right. I saw him on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking and amicably welcoming him in.
Wow.
So they used to basically, it took me a long time to learn that. They used to basically like teach us, obviously the coffee one,
right,
this one, and loads of ones. There's like seashells, a seashore, or something like that. Yeah. Basically, just to warm us up for when we actually rehearse.
Can you do that for
our roles?
Can you say that? Can you give it a try?
Bro,
you give it a try, freshly grounded?
Okay,
live?
fine. But what's the worst thing about me in all my speech? Like, bro, I am a podcaster and I have I'm the most mumbling person ever. I can't believe I've even gained a following on YouTube. Like, I mumble so much.
But even me though, when I used to go on stage and stuff, when I used to speak, I used to mumble a lot.
Even on stage I mumble,
I used to be like,
I say a lot of stuff. But we got taught that though, like that in stage acting, you have to exaggerate so much with your facial expressions. But with a camera picks up on everything.
Yeah.
So like you said, like on TV and movies, you would just like if on stage you have to like move your entire face and body to like show shock. On TV, you would literally just need to move your eyes. Like you just like you change your face. That's it. And too much of that is just looks way too like fake and awkward.
100%. I've seen, some actors on camera where they act like they're in theatre, and it's like,
But that's why,
man.
Bilal, he's an
Yeah.
amazing TV actor, because you'd look at Bilal and you think your demeanor is so calm and relaxed, like how you're an actor, but he's so amazing acting because he's so subtle.
Yeah.
He's an amazing actor. But
He's very calm and
very
relaxed.
calm, and he's very. But I couldn't imagine him on a stage, for example. But I'm sure he must have done stage shows, but I just can't imagine it.
It's true.
Let me try the thing. Say the balcony thing one last time. I'm gonna do it. But Sam, you have to try it as well.
No.
That's the only. That's the deal.
You have to try it as well, Sam. Come on.
You
man.
have to.
Fine, gone.
All right.
So nice and slowly.
So I saw him
I saw him
on the balcony
on the balcony,
inexplicably,
inexplicably,
inamicably.
Sorry, Sam. Say that again.
You say it.
Inexplicably.
That's it.
Yep.
Amicably
Inamicably
welcoming
welcoming
him in.
You say it now.
I did it.
No, you have to say it properly all in one.
So I saw him on the balcony inexplicably mimicking and amicably welcoming him in.
Go on.
I saw him on a balcony and inexplicably
Mimicking and amicably welcoming
him
in.
in.
That's it. Hey.
Listen, your boy done some acting classes, you know.
Can you do the seashells?
Seashells.
Seashells on the seashore.
She saw.
This ain't my field red. This ain't my field red. Seashells.
She sells seashells on the seashore.
What did I say? Seashells.
I got it wrong.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Right, Red, have we got some current events ready?
We do.
Should we pop into some current events?
Yeah, done now.
Alright, so Abdul Sharif, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to a segment known as current events, where basically we talk, yeah, that's right, you guessed it, about some current events that are going on in the world. Yeah, so current events. Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. Let's just keep it rolling. How long does it say right now?
117.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, done though.
If you do need the toilet or anything, just say, man. We can,
No,
It's
I'm
fasting, man.
I'm all
Yeah,
yours.
you don't need
Last
it.
thing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the
so
thing, innit?
It's a blessed day,
I know,
man.
I know.
Alhamdulillah.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
But guys, remember to keep your du'as in today, man.
100%.
Listen to this that I got sent today by Idris. He said,
Did you read what I sent you today?
today.
Yes.
Oh, in the
Yes.
group. Yeah, I did actually. I did.
read it, or you
No, I
chose
did.
to
I
read
did. I read it.
What did it say again?
I can't remember what I read it. Oh, and it was a beautiful
It
dua.
was good, yeah, it's good.
It was a dua, yeah.
I sent you as well. It's on your phone.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
My friend said to me that the Prophet ﷺ said the best of supplication is the supplication on the day of Arafah, and the best of what I and the prophets before me said is, and it's just like La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. But my point was that the dua thing, like making du'as on this day, like I'm thinking now, like once I've edited Freshly Grounded and my vlog and stuff, I might have a couple. I've got a meeting at 6, so between them times I might just take time out and just like go away and like.
I think with this kind of day, it's always best to spend that at the mosque.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do basically. As soon as I come out here, inshallah, I'm gonna
That's a
straight
good
to the
plan.
mosque, yeah. Obviously, we don't really get these kind of days every day. do
Yeah,
you
you're
know
right. It's a very, very important day today, man.
what I mean? Yeah. I mean, they say it's more powerful than Laylatul Qadr, isn't it?
So,
The 10 days are like the best days, aren't they?
they are the best days, yeah.
Nice.
The 10 days of.
But
these-
Laylatul Qadr is. But someone was telling me something about like in these days, like the days are like more important
More
than,
valuable than the Ramadan days.
than the nights. The
Ramadan
days more
nights.
valuable than nights or something.
Yeah,
My auntie was telling me something.
yeah. Do you know? I'm not going to speak about knowledge, but it's almost like these days are better. But obviously, I'm not going to speak about knowledge. They're very important days, basically, and today most importantly as well.
Current events.
Events.
Red one.
Go on.
It's good seeing you guys off. So,
Good seeing you too, bro.
I mean, I see you every day. But
Yeah.
It's good seeing you.
But when I see you on Freshly Grounded, it's different kind of seeing you. I
Is it?
prefer. Yeah, it's
You
like
look
nice and
different with
chilled.
it,
Like I see Red as like Red the producer.
What's he like in the other office?
He's the same, but I mean like we're working.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we doing now? Not working.
But this is just. I wish, inshallah, one day this could be my work. If this could be my work, Freshly Grounded was my work, yeah, I would say what you said in when you work but you feel like you never worked a day in your life. You don't work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That's what we feel like freshly grounded. This just feels more like
Inshallah, man.
Inshallah.
I'll make dua for you, man.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah. Today's the best day for that.
100%.
Alright, Red, hit us up with some of them. So,
Alright. Well, what do you want first? A little bit serious or a little bit off serious?
let's start off serious. Yeah, because Sam's not looking very serious right now.
I'm good for serious, to be fair.
Okay, cool.
Fine, let's go serious. Fine.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, obviously the Grenfell Tower stuff is still kind of lingering about. So recently there was a mural, obviously that was painted on by an artist near Chelsea, I think it was.
Yeah, it said justice, didn't it?
Yeah, it said justice. It was really nice, but it got removed by the council, so that's like kind of caused an uproar, a lot of controversy, and the victims are like obviously in a bit of a turmoil over it as well. And it's also said that over here the chief of the firefighters that obviously fought fires, her and her team have gone into counselling for it as well.
Really?
Yeah, because it's such a stressful, obviously, event to deal with. But like, it's gone as far as people having to take time off to deal with the stress of them going to counselling and things like that. So it's quite.
That doesn't surprise me, man.
Yeah, with this like painting over the mural thing. So it was like an artist had designed this thing that said justice. It was actually really beautifully designed, and then it had like names of the victims of Grenfell Tower, and it's been painted over in just like plain white paint, I believe. Yeah, so that the people were quite upset about that. But with that being said, bro, kind of on the same topic. So Abdul Sharif, I don't know if you noticed, but our office where we are right now is like right next to the Grenfell Tower. It's also this road is the main road of Notting Hill Carnival, and Notting Hill Carnival was this past weekend. And so I came into work. So it was bank holiday Monday. So I came into work Tuesday this week for the first day this week, and it had just been Notting Hill Carnival, and there was graffiti everywhere. But a lot of the graffiti was about Grenfell Tower, like loving Grenfell Tower and stuff. But bro, Sam, man, I got to work on Tuesday, yeah, and all of us, there was just litter everywhere.
Wow.
The streets stunk of urine, manure, human manure, and alcohol. Bro,
Wow.
for a whole 24 hours. I don't think it's fine now.
It's
but
not,
whole
you
24
can still see it. Because I saw your story.
Bro, the smell was.
And that's the way I walked down by the canal.
Atrocious,
That part.
Bro,
I went there this morning. The
very
smell's
unpleasant.
gone, but you can still see traces. There's been something.
Well,
There's loads of like bins and stuff.
It was
right?
extremely unpleasant coming to work. It smelled of sewers.
Really. Wow.
I mean, I take that route every day to work, going back, coming here, and I love it.
Yeah.
But when I came in on Tuesday, I was.
Yeah, disgusting. I saw your Snapchat. I saw you. Yeah, really horrible.
But the smell was something. The smell was something else,
Really?
bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
It's interesting,
people,
Carnival.
people get excited because obviously that just happens. I think once a year. So
Once a
people-
year, do you know what Carnival like?
It's-
In my Jahiliyyah days, I used to go to Carnival every single year. And I used to love it, and it used to be a little bit different to it is now. I imagine from what I see, especially with the police incidents, etc. What happened now, and how they actually run it. How they run it now, like once you go into Carnival, once you walk into it, you can't just leave on Exeter Road. You're probably in the circuit, so you can't just sort of pass through it now. Actually, when you go, you have to go. But I used to go back in the day with my brother, and it used to be very much just about culture. Lots of like great, good food everywhere. Obviously, there's the Carnival and that, but just the culture and the feeling of Notting Hill being like, it was really nice. This is my Jahiliyyah. It was really nice. It was nice and relaxed. Everyone was on good vibes. Obviously, I wouldn't go there now. It's a whole other feeling of it now.
What you see on social media is it's definitely not like
It's
that.
not,
Yeah.
and it's changed over the lot. I mean, I saw it change. I noticed it change over the years.
Yeah.
And obviously, I haven't been for years now, but I know what it's like now, and I know the kind of people who go and talk about it and stuff. And it's a different thing. But like Notting Hill is such a beautiful area, and I love the culture, and I love the locals of Notting Hill. But it's obviously it's just like anything. It's just been, they're talking about not even having local food stalls in next year. They're talking about having big companies going in and just doing all the food, like all the multi-million-dollar companies going in and doing all the stands and stuff. So they're really like looking to actually take the culture out,
Commercialise it.
Really commercialise it. Because obviously there's a lot of money in it.
I was driving on Friday, the day before. I was driving back from work, and all around the area, like people just boarded up their houses. People going on
you have to
holiday.
board up. People are crazy. Man.
Yeah.
Did you hear about there's been a lot of arrests prior to Carnival with in conjunction
I heard
with,
about that.
with the drug arrests. A lot of
Really?
and people are kicking off. People are kicking off in the black community saying the police don't bother all the people who go to Glastonbury and all these various festivals around, but when there's a very much a predominantly black event, it's almost like they spent so much money and time just like doing all these big massive drug operations prior. It's caused a bit of a. Have you seen that in the news?
I have seen that. Yeah,
it's interesting.
Was there acid attack?
There was an acid.
Well?
I think
my wife said she had someone threw acid in the crowd.
That was someone who was there. Apparently, it was a false alarm.
Really?
People started saying they could feel irritation, so everyone ran and like everyone was just running and shouting acid. But I don't think someone actually, as far as I know, someone actually had acid. There's not actually a report of someone actually having acid.
So it wasn't acid. It was just water.
From what someone I know who went said, it was it just got blown out of proportion. Basically, what happened? People in the crowd said they could feel some sort of irritation, and people started shouting it, and everyone was running. Apparently, everyone was just running in every direction and shouting that kind of word. So I'm not sure. From what he said, it didn't actually happen.
Wow.
But what a horrible thing to do. Can you imagine when I see that? Can you imagine ever throwing acid at someone? Like how? Where can you get any kind of like? Where can you get any kind of like?
It's evil, man.
It is over evil. Like taking someone, like ruining someone's life. Wow.
But I can't get over that.
The mindset of that, like how I don't understand. For instance, I saw someone have a fight the other day on a video. And the guy bottled the other guy, but it wasn't just the case of the bottle smashing. The guy had the bottle and was like
stabbing him.
Yeah, and I was thinking the mindset of like, I'm not going to make an excuse. They had a fight, bottled. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but that's what happened. But it's the mindset afterwards. The guy didn't want to stop. The guy was using a smashed up bottle and wouldn't stop until someone took it off. And I thought the mindset of that is like, if you're on someone's face and you're throwing a glass bottle into that face. You're taking that's changing someone's life. Surely, like every time you put your hand into that, do you know what I mean? You could be disfiguring someone's face for the rest of their life or madness.
You would kill someone.
It's madness. It's like the mindset to be able to. It's just like.
They say, don't they, that there's like shayateen that exist. Like people just think the shayateen exists in the gym, but shayateen exist in the mankind as well.
Of course. Shayateen just means unruly. Shayateen just means disobedient. So there's shayateens of obviously human beings and of the jinn kind.
Yeah.
And I've definitely met these. Yeah, there's just levels, man.
Yeah, your story. Isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy you mentioned that. Like one of my good friends from Bradford, he was telling me about obviously Freemasons and stuff. He knows one guy that's in it, and it's a Muslim guy as well. And basically, like,
he's a Muslim Mason.
He's a Muslim Mason. Yeah, it's crazy, and he's very successful, millionaire and everything. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not part of them, by the way. I'm not part of them. But basically, he was telling me how it's true what you said. How jinns also live in mankind as well.
Yeah, man.
They all these men, when they go to these meetings, they have all the jinns in them, and they're all mankind. So it's actually true what you said.
Madness.
It's crazy.
The things people do for success, they go like to a point of like a shirk against Allah. It just for success it's really sad, to be honest. So it really genuinely is beautiful to see someone who is like really treading the right path, who is going for success in this dunya and is achieving it to a high degree, but also with every success that he's getting, it's making him more humble. And that's honestly something I've not seen in anybody before. And that's why I've never been skeptical, but that's why I'm a skeptical person, but I haven't been skeptical about you, but I just find you so interesting because it's like, that's not how it should work. Do you know what I mean? But it does, and that's what's beautiful about it.
But that's the thing. I honestly believe it's because even the founders, they're multi-billionaires, and when you meet a multi-billionaire, you would think that they're the most arrogant people, but the founders, the way they act with you, it's like they're just average people, and they're very hardcore Catholics as well. Yeah. They have their belief as well, and they always say God comes first with everything, and that's what they're man of God. You know what I mean? Of course, we try to give him da'wah all the time because there's another guy who's in our business and he's an imam. Wow. And on his promotion as well, he played in the Nasheed, and the founders and the founders, they're multi-billionaires. They were asking, that sounded absolutely beautiful. I mean, can you tell us what that is? Like, we really loved your song. And then they were like, it's not called a song. It's called a Nasheed. They're like, it sounds very peaceful and amazing. Very, very. We've never heard of something like that. It's very nice. So even and then we just started giving them da'wah and stuff, And one of them, we started giving him da'wah, and then he was asking us questions, and he's like, "So wait a second, if I converted to Islam, I can have 4 wives? That is awesome!"
That's very awesome.
And he was like, "And all I have to give is 2.5% of charity. I mean, you guys got it good, man."
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
The first time I saw Abdul Sharif wasn't in person. It was on a screen. So I saw him getting promoted, and I thought, wow, okay, cool. And I was watching this guy, and he came up. When he came to speak, he started with, "All thanks to God, the most merciful, the most magnificent." That's the first thing he said. I thought, wow, and this guy's just been promoted to a high level with dunya wise. And the first thing he says is gives thanks to God. And I said that for me really, really stood out. And then I met him shortly afterwards, and we hit off, didn't we?
Same day.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I met him just afterwards, man.
Just after, yeah, it's crazy how me and Sam met. As soon as I met him, I remember I asked you, "You're Muslim, yeah?" He's like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "Mashallah," and then literally from there we just connected. And mashallah, Sam, he's a great brother, man. I'm happy Allah's made us.
Alhamdulillah,
us
man.
meet, you know what
Alhamdulillah,
I mean?
100%. I just thought it was great that first and foremost you're giving thanks to the one that gave it to you, and that's what like really, really
100%.
stood out. And you're doing it on a public platform. You're telling, because lots of people, like, first and foremost, thank you God for this, and then I'll
100%.
talk, which I think says a lot, man.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. That's what it's all about, man.
No
It's
doubt.
all, it's and with our statuses and stuff, it's not just about helping people financially, but I try my best. Everyone I meet in the business, I always try and I ask them their belief. What do you believe in? It's funny because I was working with this guy. His name is Luke, and he was a kafir, and he just loved being around me, basically. And as I'm helping and so on, eventually, remember I told you about that. I think I told someone else, and I asked him about his belief. I said, "What do you believe in?" He's like, "I do believe in God, but my family's Christian, but I mean, I believe in God, but I pray when I can, really." I said, "Yeah, but," and I just started. I started giving him da'wah and so on. I showed him a couple of videos and stuff, and then I asked him. I said, "Look, you believe in one true God, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you believe in the prophets and all the prophets? Jesus Christ, and do you believe in the final prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?" And he said, "You know what? I read his biography, and yeah, I do believe he existed. Like, I believe that he was the final prophet. It makes sense." I said, "Okay, so you're a Muslim then?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Am I?" I'm like, "Yeah, you believe in the final prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you believe in the one true God, the key of the heavens and the earth. You're a Muslim." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, I said, "Right, now you have to confirm it, so you're good on the day of judgment." He said, "Okay, what do I need to do?" I said, "All right." And we took his shahada, and he became Muslim.
Yeah?
Subhanallah. Yeah,
Mashallah.
yeah, subhanallah, man. So just being able to do that, it's a blessing.
That's more valuable than anything, innit? That stuff.
It's a blessing, man.
Red, what else we got?
Today is 20 years since Princess Diana.
I saw that.
I've been seeing her on the news so much.
Yeah,
recently. Is that
yeah,
why?
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's anniversary. My
because
missus
it
has
was
been
coming
watching a
up
few
to-
things on her
Yeah, it
recently
came
as
on
well.
Snapchat as well.
Yeah,
then
it's-
you-
Yeah, it's on my. Yeah, I see it on my phone today.
Going around Kensington Palaces and opened up to the public and so on. To be honest, this was 97 when she passed away, so I was
I remember very well
I
the
was
day
7
she
years
died.
old.
I remember very well.
Yeah, you probably. How old were you? At 35 then?
No, because I'm 28 now, mate.
Right. Okay.
How are you?
I can't remember
14?
because you're substantially older than me. So
Yeah. You don't do GCSEs yet?
yeah, actually
Have
I
you?
have. Yeah, I got a degree.
Have you?
Yeah.
I
So
haven't.
does Abdul Sharif.
I know.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, just stating facts. That's all.
We're gonna start listing what we've got.
I think with Diana,
Yeah.
we're saying what happened. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you
I
guys
think that she was killed.
She was killed, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
even that's I think MI5 even come out and given he was on his deathbed. He gave an official statement explaining exactly what happened. That was from an MI5 agent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's official in the sense that he gave a confession on his deathbed, but I always thought for years before that obviously it was. There's loads of evidence to suggest that she was.
And what was the main reason why they killed her? I mean, I've heard so many.
She
rumors.
She was basically
a Muslim man, right?
No. I mean, she was used basically. This is conspiracy, so forgive me, Faisal.
No worries.
She was brought in to the family just to deliver Harry and William. That's it.
Literally.
She was used for that, yeah, and then that was it.
Why
That was
couldn't
her
they use
purpose.
like someone else for her?
She was chosen.
She was the person they chose. If they didn't use her, they used someone else, and they would have killed her. Wouldn't you? Would have said the same thing.
That's crazy.
That was the
man.
main reason.
I've seen an interview where she's talking to someone, and then someone
Why didn't they
says
just
to her,
choose the one that he wanted to marry? Because he wanted to marry Camilla, didn't he?
Yeah, it goes. She look at Princess Diana, isn't it? Look at her and what she did for everything and how she was.
Yeah.
That you look into it because it's so deep. It's so deep, but the sense of that she was basically used to carry it and create.
That's crazy, because I saw an interview with her, and she says, they ask her a few questions, and then she says, you know, I don't agree with some of what the royal family say, and because I have a heart, and I know that's not good for the people. And they're like, what do you mean? And then she said, look, I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, I saw that interview.
She was a lovely woman, man.
She's a very lovely woman.
She did some amazing work. Amazing
It's a
work.
shame they had to kill her.
She was like bullied by like. I watched an interview with Harry the other day. That the only time she would cry over and over again was because of the paparazzi ruining her life. It was no other reason. The paparazzi were in her face and everything, like her life was taken over by that.
But do you think because she was with a Muslim man, do you think she became Muslim?
I don't know. It's best. It's a nice thought. She was with a Muslim man, yeah.
I hope she did become Muslim.
She had a very soft heart. The amount of like charity work she did for people. Like,
Yeah.
she really. I might get shot later for this, but she really is what the royal family needs. Like she needed, she was on the front lines going to do like goodness, like, and she was soft and she was beautiful and she was like a mother.
People loved her, didn't
People
they?
loved her.
I think my nan might have cried when she died.
Bro, I heard someone say the other day, like, I cried more when Diana died than when my wife died. And me and my missus actually looked at each other and thought, that's quite a severe statement. But that was the love that she created in people's hearts.
That is
Because
a severe statement.
That is a very severe statement.
It is, but she was doing so much goodness that maybe the wife of the man didn't do that. I don't know. We looked at each other and said, that's a big statement, mate. But that, she captivated people. Like, she did so much goodness, man. But you know what? First and foremost, Allah knows best what really happened. But it definitely wasn't an innocent death. That's my statement.
And that's why her husband, the guy she was with, he didn't want to give Harrods to the royal family, right? He sold it to a Qatari guy.
That's right.
Right.
It goes deep. There's so many.
Did you know that they don't have a prayer room in Harrods apparently?
Do they not?
Can you believe that? They have one in Selfridges. They have a really nice one in Selfridges. We prayed in that one.
It's lovely, yeah.
And they have one in Westfields. But in Harrods, where it's like predominantly Muslim, apparently, from what I know, they don't. I might be, if someone knows better, they correct me, but they don't have a prayer room.
Really?
And it's like predominantly Muslim thing.
I used to
And
work.
it's owned by Muslims. It's weird.
Do you know what? Saying that is actually true. No. Wait a second. They do have a prayer room.
do they?
Yeah,
Oh,
I used to
okay.
work there. I used to pray as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have.
Because I know a guy
prayer
who's a
room.
chauffeur, so he's often driving people into Knightsbridge, into Harrods, because he's got a lot of Arab customers. And he said that he prays, and he said
I don't know
that
if
he's
it's.
never
But the thing is, I don't know if it's just for the staff. I think it's just for the staff members.
Were you were working there, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean,
Like
I should.
4 or 5 years ago, I used to work there.
My logic tells me that they do have one because if everyone else does,
But you can't always follow your logic.
You can't.
It's beautiful though, Harrods. I worked opposite Harrods for about four months.
Hob.
Oh, whereabouts?
Sanriz, the hair salon. So Harrods was at the corner. It's literally Brampton Road. Brampton Road, just literally across the road on the right. And I liked Knightsbridge. Was nice. I used to like Knightsbridge. It made me feel rich.
I was there the other day.
Were you?
Yeah.
Was it nice?
If you watch my vlogs, you'd know that.
In Knightsbridge?
Yeah, I was in Knightsbridge the other day.
I don't religiously watch your vlogs. Sorry. I do
Not
generally
to
tune
most
into your
people.
videos and generally text you saying, "Bro, it was really, really funny. Keep up the good work."
You're like my biggest supporter, Sam. I appreciate that.
Am I?
Yeah.
I always give you honest
I'm
feedback.
gonna start watching your
You
vlogs.
should watch some of his videos. Are very funny.
I don't know
He
if
is
you like
funny.
them. They're quite immature.
I'm gonna start watching them.
I suppose that's me.
He's just funny. His character.
I was actually
funny.
Faisal. I'm actually looking into social media because social media is not something I really looked into, but now I'm starting to like post quality pictures
Right.
and I was thinking maybe just to start vlogging because tell me your experience, man. I mean,
It's a good
'cause-
idea, man.
I've got a great idea. You guys should be each other's mentors.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's
Trust
what I
me.
mean. You I would love to learn
You
from
can
We
you.
should
exchange
have a
knowledge.
chat
Yeah.
off podcast sometime.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
with vlogging and stuff, people told me that people make money just from sharing their lifestyle. Like people get
let me say the
thousands
thing
of
about-
views.
Here's the thing with vlogging, right? So essentially, people make money off vlogging. So if you put out a video a day, the views you get on the video, you get money off the adverts, right?
Yeah.
Now the problem is that there's not really any way, shape, or form you could say that's a halal way of earning money, because the adverts are all like they're like some of them might be like for gambling, some might be alcohol, right? So now you can filter those. And take off like gambling and take off like dating sites and stuff like that, but you'll still have adverts that have music, that have women dressed like it's basically impossible. So trust me, like even the other day I was looking like so hard for fatwa. It's just, from what I know, it doesn't exist. And so making money of AdSense. Are you listening, Sam, or are you just going to show your phone?
I'm listening.
But you should show on your phone though, but maybe just do it off there.
I'm just doing what you do usually when I'm talking. I'm listening. We had the same conversation last week.
Did we?
Yeah, about exactly why. Yeah, listening to you. Yeah, about YouTube and adverts and this particular adverts.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm listening. I'm tuned in.
So there's not. So you'd find it incredibly hard to convince me that it's halal just because of what I've read, like from and I've like I said, bro. Like the weakness in my iman led me to really trying to look for this dalil that will tell me that it's okay. Even when my iman was
you can't filter the adverts.
You can take off like gambling and alcohol and stuff, bro. But then like it's still like, let's say if there's an advert for biscuits, that's halal, right?
Yeah.
But in the advert you got a woman dressed in a mini skirt with music blasting and like speaking essentially, like it just doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
And so what it is that
but you didn't create that advert.
No, you didn't create the advert, but you're hosting the advert and you're making money off it.
Right.
So you're leading your followers to go onto that and view that. So the problem is the thing. I didn't know that. Bro, this is such a fitna for me, because so I'll tell you how much money these people make off it. So for example, there's one YouTuber that we know that we would all have heard of. He's not so big that he's got like 10 million subscribers, but he makes £30,000 a month. Yeah, of just AdSense. Yeah. You make off just the AdSense. So and that's not that's like the residual that you make off YouTube, right?
English person.
American. That's the AdSense you make off YouTube, yeah. And all of my followers, everyone here listening will know who. Now, that's the residual money you make off YouTube. That's why it's such an amazing business, right? All you got to do is put out a video a day, and you're making money for each video. Now, that's just a residual, but the way you actually make big boy money is like Rolex will approach you and be like, yo, we want you to sponsor one of your videos, talk about the Rolex. We're going to send you Rolex, talk about it. And then you say, all right, cool, 20K for that. Just say to you. So if you're someone like my level of following, you wouldn't charge that much, but you can still get away with charging a decent amount to sponsors. Like, not when I say decent amount, it's very, very low at this level. But when you're hitting 1 million subscribers, for example, you're charging a minimum of like 10, 15, 20K for a sponsorship or and stuff like that, right? So there's like big YouTubers, like the biggest YouTuber right now is called Logan Paul. He's got 10.7 million followers, right? He'll charge 20 to 40K for just an Instagram post. For YouTube, he'll charge over 80K. But his residuals, he's making over £1 million a month. Now, he's making a guy called Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
So, bro, there's this. I listen to
and he's just vlogging
everyday vlogs.
Does he do interesting stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
he was originally a Viner, so you know Vine.
Yeah.
Vine, yeah.
When Vine first came out, he started doing Vines, like comedic Vines, and in competition with his brother.
Right.
And his brother kind of rose to the top, but then as soon as Vine shut down,
I forgot about Vines. They were only around for a minute, weren't they? Vines.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. They started off on Android, and then they opened up on Apple as well, on iOS.
Yeah.
And then after it got shut down, basically most of these Viners jumped onto Instagram, onto YouTube, and took over.
So Logan Paul was saying,
what kind of stuff is he doing day to day? Like,
it's just entertainment, bro. Like you know what you see in my vlogs, that kind of stuff, but
okay,
daily.
Fine.
And he gets about 5 million views, 3 to 5 million views a day on each video, and he's making like just a bundle of money. He pays £10,000. He's got a 2-bedroom flat, a really small flat in Hollywood, and he pays £10,000 a month rent, $10,000 a month rent for that. But now he just bought a house, but. It's insane money. And so I was into a podcast the other day with a guy called Alex Wasabi. His name's his real name is not, last name is not Wasabi, but that's what he goes on YouTube. And he was saying, and he's 20, he's my age, yeah. And he said it took him 6 years to blow on YouTube, by the way. Because I get demotivated sometimes, because I'm like, oh, I've got 17K, and like I feel like my content's good. And he said in his interview, he said that he's been going for 6 years. Oh no, so he's going for 11 years now. But 6 years in was when he started getting like proper success. And so I'm only a year and a half in. Do you know what I mean? So it's a longevity thing. Now listen to this, yeah. Just stats and figures out there. He was working at a restaurant earning 15k a year, yeah. And he said the first YouTube check he got more in a month than he got in a whole year at the restaurant. And so, but he enjoyed going to a restaurant because he like was bored and stuff. So what he used to do is he used to pay someone to take his shift at the restaurant if there's a day that he can't work, just so that someone takes his shift. And then but he'd still go there regularly. But then he'd be bored at home. So then he started paying people to take his friend's shift at the restaurant so his friends could chill with him, and his friends would be like, look, the reason we work at the restaurant is so that you can earn money. So he started paying his friends to chill with him. Like, that's how much money he had, yeah. And then he realized, look, what am I doing? This is something. And it came to a point where his boss come up to him at work and said, look, I heard how much money you're making on YouTube and stuff. You're making more money than I am. And he was like, yeah, but I just enjoy being here and stuff. And he's like, look, I'm not firing you, but for Monday you're not coming to work anymore. So he said, he got let go because he earns too much money. And now he still daily vlogs, and now he said that every month he puts away 6 figures into his savings, and he said he's set for life. So he didn't have to work a day he doesn't have to make YouTube, he's set for life. But he said the reason he works now is this guy was very sincere in the podcast. The reason he works now is because he just wants to build stuff for his family and friends. So his little brother is going to high school next year in America. And he said, the one thing I want to do is put him in the best private high school that I can put my brother in. And he's actually buying a really nice house for his mum and dad next to the high school so that they don't have to move away from him. And so that's the kind of stuff he wants to do now. But that's the kind of money that's in YouTube. So he's making enough a month of ads of residuals of YouTube to put away 6 figures a month into his savings, right? And for me, I'm like, that's like my dream job because I love creating content on YouTube. But there's nothing that exists in a halal market, because you can't even start a business, for example, because there's a business called halal.ad. I was looking at it, right? And because I was thinking, what's the halal alternative to this? Is there a way where Muslim businesses do this kind of stuff? Now you could go away now and create a business where you have just Muslim businesses who put their non-music, and you could maybe, because I was thinking about this as a business idea, for the people who are really strict, you could really filter it so there's not even pictures of humans with eyes. Do you know what I mean? Because there's people who believe that pictures are not permissible. So you could have something where it's just audio, but then you could go all the way up, so you could filter it to where people who aren't necessarily that strict but they just want Muslim content. It'll be a great business because there's so many Muslim vloggers and stuff out there. The problem is that YouTube and Google are one company, right? And the adverts that go onto the YouTube videos are Google AdSense adverts. So you can't just put your advert onto a thing, it's Google AdSense. So that's the problem. So the way YouTubers make money basically is through Google AdSense. And so my only option left is private sponsorship deals. But private sponsorship deals come every now and again. And especially when you're on 17K, you're not going to be banging out a private sponsorship deal once a month that's 3-4K, do you know what I mean? So that's how they make money, and that's how they make so much money. So YouTubers right now, if you got even if they've got 500,000, 300,000, 200,000, a million subscribers, which is all the big YouTubers have, best know they're walking away every month just off AdSense with clean £8,000 to £10,000 a month,
really?
Just into account just for making videos.
Just on the adverts.
On adverts.
And you can't do that because some of them are haram.
Yes.
But what if you was to block the ones that are alcohol? Wouldn't.
So you can do that. So you can filter them, but then
said,
still, you just can't get.
Some of them are inappropriate, even when they promote Skittles.
Bro, for example, I saw an advert on I filtered it all, and then I still saw an advert on my YouTube because I put it up for a day to see how it worked for a day. This is a year ago, and even after I filtered it, my the advert came up for singlemuslim.com, and it's women with their breasts out and stuff it's called singlemuslim.com, but it's just not fully out, but proper cleavage and stuff, and that's been advertised on my thing, bro. I can't. Do you know what I mean?
But then again, it's you don't control it,
right? That's what I'm saying as well. Because, but when I'm making money for me, it said help one another. There's a Quran ayah that says help one another in good and bad. There was loads. There was interpretations by. There's literally an article on IslamQA.info that says can I use Google AdSense, and they break it down quite a bit as well. And it's different stuff and. Yeah.
Looked and you can't.
I haven't found
No,
anything
you
yet,
can't.
and I in my heart, bro, like, believe me, the temptation for me is real, because from now I'll be making a decent enough cake on just my residuals just from AdSense,
Wow.
but I can't. But my heart's telling me that it's not, and inshallah there must be barakah somewhere in it, and inshallah Allah has another
Your
plan
list
for me.
will
So.
come to you
Exactly.
no matter what. You know what I mean?
But that's my dream job, man. Like, being able to shoot
Wow.
videos every day and like be on. Like, do you know what I mean?
So technically-
you can't do it. Are you saying
Yeah.
you can't really do it then because of that?
Yeah, you can't.
It's almost quite. Yeah.
So I mean, I still make videos, but
Yeah.
I
don't
make money
monetize-
from it.
But you
No,
know,
I don't.
but you know you can't grow it as much as you could.
I could grow my following, and when I grow my
Yeah.
follow, if I've got 1 million followers, then you're gonna get
Private
deals.
ads,
You're
yeah.
gonna get deals, and like, even if I've got 1 million followers, I can definitely do private sponsorships where I can even get one sponsorship a month, and you can charge like £20,000 for a sponsorship. So then you make £3,000 a month, and then that's just that. And then you're doing speaking events, you're charging off for the speaking events. So my only option is to build my following so much where I can
You
get
make like those
private-
bonuses,
right.
those
But
sponsorships.
that's my
Right,
yeah. So,
okay.
but even with Freshly Grounded, like, we were speaking about it. And this is such a candid conversation, but I suppose that's what I love about Freshly Grounded. We don't have to be. We can be real on it. With Freshly Grounded, like, one of the goals of it, like, me and Sam started Freshly Grounded, and I remember one conversation I had with Sam in the car as well when we got our first sponsorship, and he said, bro, for me, it's not about the money. It's about the dawah and this kind of stuff. And I agree, bro. Like, to this day, bro, we haven't really made a penny of freshly grounded. We've done like 1 or 2 sponsorships here and there, but it's not really been like money in the bank account, salary kind of thing at all. So all in all, we pretty much have made almost nothing of Freshly Grounded, right? And it's not about that for us, because for us, the original plan was this. And I remember when I spoke to Sam on the phone, I said, bro, imagine one person on their way to school or on their way to work stops listening to music and listens to podcast and listens to us instead, and then slowly that gets them off music completely. And now we've just helped one person stop listening to music, and on the day of judgment, that's going to benefit us because we helped them stop committing a sin. Now, bro, we have 30,000 people listening to us on a monthly basis, and we get emails weekly saying, I don't listen to music anymore, or you guys help me start praying. And but for us, that's more than money. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's gonna we might not see it now, bro, but like on day judgment, but we don't know if like our bad deeds might, and for me probably will, outweigh my good deeds, and I'll probably be getting ready for the hellfire, and then I'm being told, yo, you're going to Jannah. Why? Because of the effect that had on that. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen to me, but I'm saying imagine if it does. So that little hope, that's worth more than anything. But even with Freshly Grounded, like, we have a segment at the beginning where we do sponsorship. So we say, listen guys, if you want to sponsor the podcast, so like, if we, for example, had like five sponsors on each podcast at the beginning, and we're charging them a certain amount of money, that's residual itself.
Of course, yeah.
We'll be selling like in a like you like we will say like, you sponsor for
That's the
episodes.
barakah
So,
in itself.
yeah, so inshallah, that's not where it's at now, but inshallah, like, that's my goal is for like Freshly Grounded and my YouTube.
Yeah,
and
not
stuff.
just that. To be honest, even if you do vlogs, like, you're branding yourself.
Of course,
Yeah.
bro.
You know, and you're promoting your product. You
Yeah,
know,
of
for
course.
example, the hats and so on. So I think even if it doesn't come down to making residuals from the AdSense, then it's still promoting your business in a way. I
Exactly,
think.
man. Exactly.
Promoting yourself.
That
That's
was
interesting.
your original intention, though, wasn't it? That's why you started your YouTube account, so you could start promoting.
Yes.
Zaha,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is what it is, man.
I didn't know that, like, in terms of the haram way, the fact that some adverts, because you do get, even though, like, for example, biscuits, like you said, it's not haram, but the way the advert is, the scenes and so on is a bit. I know what you mean.
It's just impossible. It's impossible to, bro. You say that, but it's not, because.
Well, you're not doing it.
Well, but you don't know how many times I come close to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, or
you're not
right,
doing it.
yeah.
You're not sitting there literally.
But
doing
imagine, like,
because do you know what?
yeah.
The fact that you can cut out the alcohol, the gambling, a lot of people be like, "That's my bit of making it halal," and then. Do you know what I mean?
There's no
to be honest,
barakah in
'cause I'm sitting there
haram
with
money, is there,
myself
man?
thinking, no, of course. But I'll be real, I'm sitting there with myself thinking, you know, if you cut the gambling out, you know, it's really haram. Cut out the alcohol, whatever, that's really haram. If other little bits go on, is it really your fault? But that's me thinking there.
I have the same mindset as you. I have the same mindset.
But that's the thing. Allah knows us more than we know ourselves.
Yeah,
and another thing is the main reason why Allah created us is to repent.
Right.
Because the angels can't repent because they can't sin.
Yeah.
So Allah created the humans and the jinns because he wants to show his mercy. So he knows we're not perfect, you know, but.
Don't get me wrong. If I there's certain shaykh that I listen to, there's certain shaykh that I know of, and who I respect a lot, and who I if I had spoken to them and they gave me and they done their research on this matter individually, and then they gave me a fatwa to say that it was permissible, I would do it. But I haven't had access to speak to. There's only a few shaykh that I know of that I would be happy to. Not that I'm better than any shaykh, but I mean, like, because there's such a difference of opinion with certain things, you know, I would need like a certain sheikh to like really research into the matter and then tell me like that. I wouldn't just want to base it off like, oh, it might be okay, and then do you know what I mean?
Would you do that?
I'm looking to, bro, but it's
do you
not
think
easy
realistically the answer is going to be?
Basically, the answer will probably be a no from what I know, but I don't want to just guess that. Like, it might be. It's like.
That makes sense then. That's why some of the Islamic videos on YouTube, no adverts come on. I realised that.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense.
You couldn't afford to like have
but bro,
someone
this
credible. Imagine someone very credible who gives out fatwas and knowledge people take and implement their life. The beginning of their advert, it's got something which contradicts.
Of course.
But you couldn't let that happen.
Just as like a side note, I don't want anyone who's listening to this to think, oh, right, I know YouTubers who are Muslim that have adverts, or I know, or if you're a YouTuber and you have adverts, I don't want you to think that like I'm like saying that what you're doing is wrong or anything, because I'm basing it off research that I've done and I'm not knowledgeable, bro. So I'm basing it off research that I've done and collected everything that I know, but they might have got a fatwa that actually is correct. 100%. That's one thing. And secondly, the second thing is that sometimes you have adverts on your videos that you that YouTube put on without you wanting to. So for example, on some of my videos I actually have adverts,
right,
but it's because I'll have like a nasheed in the video, and that nasheed is owned by like someone else, and so YouTube, because I have content that's not all mine, YouTube can actually put adverts on it. Yeah, so YouTube put adverts on some of my stuff, so they make money.
But you'd make nothing out of it.
I make nothing of that.
Really?
What?
So there's still the chance that the advert that you're trying to.
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
No, it's extremely rare because all of my content is mine. But let's say if I was
had nasheed that had
if I had like a nasheed that is owned by. So if I had a nasheed, so there's that record company called Awakening Records, isn't it?
Right.
So I don't know much about them, but I know that they sign people who make music on nasheeds. Now let's say I put a nasheed that's owned by Awakening Records on my vlog. Awakening Records is possible that they can have license that song, so anyone who uses it, an advert automatically gets put on that video, and they make money from that video. Right. But that's why I try and keep all my content, bro. So you don't see adverts on my content because like I don't really make
sound you have for your videos. Yeah. Where did you get that from?
Oh, that was like, I think it was some. Do you know? It was just some like background for some nasheed that I just found online. But you know, Merciful Servant, they have a lot of nasheeds.
It's good. It works. It really works. You're like, what? No. Yeah. It sounds wicked, man. It sounds really good.
You know, Merciful Servant.
Yeah.
He has a lot of nasheeds on his channel, and I actually speak to him if I want to use a nasheed that is on his channel. I just message him. I don't know the guy. I know a lot of people who do know him personally, but I just messaged him on Instagram and I was like, "Yo, bro, can I use this nasheed?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro, use it." So I get permission to use like anything that's not mine generally. Yeah. And a lot of the nasheeds are from like Castillo and Muslim Bilal and stuff, and I've been privileged enough to like get to know these brothers, so they're not as like they're not offended. Do you know what I mean?
But the main one, do you know who actually did the main one?
Yeah, la 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 la.
Lookbook is sick.
Oh, that was Mishari. I'm not gonna get in contact with Mishari, am I?
He did a video called Lookbook, and he's just taking the mick out of himself for you, just like trying on different clothes in the rain and stuff. Yeah, it's really funny, man. It's like hilarious. It is funny. You should check out his channel. It's good.
I'm definitely going to.
Was you go on YouTube and just search Faisal? Yeah.
Yeah, just search Faisal. Come up there. Yeah, man. So it's just this has become a podcast about me. Really.
That's something I've learned today because I thought that obviously because you don't have in control, I thought it would be okay.
But don't take my word for it, bro. Like, honestly, I would do my own research and like, and the best thing you could possibly do is ask someone of knowledge. But for me, I don't have access to the people of knowledge. Like, but for example, someone like someone like Tim Humble, for example, because I know his aqeedah and stuff like that. Like, if I had the opportunity to like speak to him and like but then he would have to dedicate his time to go away and research and watch my videos and watch it and then come back with a specified factor. Bro, it's hard to get someone who on that level to like say to them, go away, research my videos, research AdSense, and then come back to me after a couple of days and let me know. Like, it's very hard, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's the tough thing. So if I was able to get access to somebody who you know, yeah. who would like research specifically and who has knowledge, and based on their knowledge did research based on my videos, based on AdSense, all that kind of stuff, and then came back to me and said, look, it's okay, you can do it, but
So-
for sure, why would I say no?
So do you think with vlogging, in terms of what you're doing at the moment, do you think just making an income from the sponsorships can be kind of like a long-term thing?
Yeah, so I know somebody who does who their income comes from sponsorship deals,
Mhm.
and not just sponsorship deals, but bro, like for example, so this is how I know somebody who makes money, and they make money through not through AdSense but through sponsorship deals, right? And one of the ways is sponsorship deals, yeah.
Mhm.
So they get asked for so many sponsorship deals in a month that they can literally just pick one or two they want, and they'll like if I've got 1 million subscribers, best know that there's going to be so many companies that are going to hit me up in a month. I just have to pick one or two that I think that go with my ethos, and then say to them, look, 20 bag each. Do you know what I mean? And then the other way is stuff like, so companies like Uber and stuff will hit you up and they'll say, put your Uber code in your bio, and for every person that signs up to Uber, you'll get like £15. If you've got 1 million followers, but what Uber do is they actually give you, if they approach you, they give you a better deal, and then they like put you on, they give you monthly money. So I know someone, for example, who gets paid who is just a social influencer, but they get paid monthly from Uber. Yeah,
Just by
So
having their own
and
code.
they get a very decent amount of money.
See, that's a very good way of earning residual income.
Yeah. So
Very
so
good way.
that's what I'm saying. So my thing right now is just trying to build my brand, because
Mm.
I know when I have a certain amount of followers from what I love doing, that for companies that's a database.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to use my followers, but if I want to carry on doing what I love and creating content that I love for my followers, then it works hand in hand that I can use that as a database to give to like not to give the information, but for companies to then use me to promote their products, and then you know what I mean. So yeah,
It's very interesting.
yeah, make dua.
100%. Today's the best day to make dua, my
Yeah.
friend. And obviously regarding does it depend on your followers or does it depend on the company, on who they are? So for example, if it's just like a random startup company, they ask you to sponsor their stuff, to promote their stuff, is it a thing where they have a certain amount they charge, whereas if it is someone like Rolex, they will give you much more because of who they are, they're established.
Yeah, you have to
and
base.
so on.
You have to have your own fees in your head, like around what you would charge,
Right.
and then like you base it off like who they are and stuff. Like if Rolex were to approach me, I would definitely not give them like the fee that I would give to, I don't know.
Oh, so
Zara.
you decide the fee.
yeah,
They don't say, here, we're gonna give you this.
No, some companies do. So one sponsorship I had recently, they said to me, "This is, hey, we want you to do this, blah blah. This is how much we will pay you, blah blah." And if I wasn't happy with the money, I would have said, "I'm sorry, but that doesn't work."
Oh,
but
they told you the
They told
price.
me how much they pay
Oh,
me,
see.
and I said, "It works for me." But generally, they actually ask you for your fees. Yeah, they always ask you for your fees, because what they want the ball in their court. Once they know your, because imagine on their behalf, imagine if like Rolex, for example, approached me and they told me how much they're going to pay me. Now the ball's in my court. Whereas if they say how much you charge and they're expecting, their budget in their head is like £10,000, and I say 500 quid, they'll be like, "Oh wow, imagine if we actually said 10,000, we just going for 500 quid." Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's better for the company to like not say yeah.
I'm with you.
Nah.
So it's-
But
it's-
then I would disadvantage of me, because if I say like 500 quid, then I don't know that they were actually willing to give me 10 grand. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. You have to
Yeah.
so that's why you have to base it off who it is and try and do your research and figure it out.
So
and, like-
you, in your position, do you usually ask the company, okay, so how much are you willing to pay me? Or do you just give them a price straight
So
away?
I used to have a manager, and so he used to deal with a lot of stuff, and now I just do it myself mainly, or like one of the guys in the office will do it. But generally, I try and get a budget out of them. I try and find out what their budget is, and then like work according to their budget.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but once I hit the budget, I know around how much they're willing to pay, and then I can.
So is it like, is
Some people just like mess around with that and everything.
yeah?
Because the same thing that you're talking about applies to. So I do photography, and again, same rules apply. And I just feel like asking a budget is a bit of a mistake.
Alright, let me tell you something, yeah. That this is gonna be like an exclusive that Uma's gonna hate me dropping, but it's one of but I'm gonna drop it, bruv. It's knowledge in it, like, and this has actually helped me a lot in life, and it's one of the reasons for a lot of Uma's success, yeah. And this is a really good selling technique, and I've seen him sign so many deals like this, yeah. But I feel bad for exposing him, but it's not really exposing. It's just a selling technique. So what he taught me, you ask someone what their budget is, yeah.
Mhm.
And then what you do is, let's say if now Rolex said our budget is £300,
Mhm.
yeah, for example. well, let's be more realistic. Let's say their budget. They say, "Oh, our budget's £5,000." Now you got the upper hand because you know their budget, right? So, but this is like one of those biggest secret things that I just give it out. But you basically go back to them with 3 options. So you say, right, that's your budget. This is what I could do for that budget. But if you want to spend a bit more, this is what I can do for your budget. But if you want like the full package, this is what I could do. But that's like
so you
how much
offer
you
them
pay.
3.
So he jumps up higher than the
Right.
budget.
And they always end up saying, "Oh, where you get all that if I just go £2 grand
A
above
little
my
bit
budget."
more, yeah,
They'll be like,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
fine, we'll go with the highest one. So that's actually almost selling technique, and how everyone's heard it.
Service.
Write that down in my notes.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Yeah.
very impressive.
That's like his biggest selling technique, and I've just told it to 30,000 people.
You jump up and put the money up.
whose selling technique is that?
My brother.
Oh, your older brother. Wow.
And he didn't find that for anyone. He just through trial and error realized that that's the way to do it. Because once someone tells you £5 grand, bruv, they're willing to spend £5 grand now. So, and they're probably lying. They're probably willing to spend more.
The more there, yeah.
So like, don't ever be like, "Oh well, I can do it for £3 grand." Like, bro, they're willing to spend minimum £5 grand now. So
Yeah.
you say to them, right, cool. I mean, I can, like, do you know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Oh, I'm really upset. I can't feel guilty, but I'm sure he would mind me telling. It's just a technique, innit? That's all it is.
Yeah. That's very interesting. So
I'll ask him if I put it out.
he's going to grill you afterwards.
Have we finished current events?
We need to wrap up, didn't we?
We're, actually
Right.
we're in current
So,
events.
yeah, right. Let's go.
I'm talking
Let's go.
about YouTube for. Go on. What's the next?
You should be current.
It's true.
There was a teenager in Jeddah that was arrested for dancing on the road to hip hop music.
Really?
Yeah, literally, like, it's a 14-year-old kid who actually got arrested by the police, and I don't know whether they jailed him for a long time, but
Was he charged?
He was charged, yeah. And yeah, that caused a bit of a uproar on Twitter as well. Like, it was quite a bit of a controversial thing because a lot of people were saying, like, "Oh, you're the hero that we need in this kind of place."
Really?
To, make it a bit more open-minded, and other people were like, you're trampling on the country's values, really.
Was he a local?
But he's only 50, yeah. He's local. He's only 14 years old, man. So it's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about that,
What
really.
to say, but
Let's move on.
Next one.
Me too.
It's too sticky, that
say
situation.
nothing.
Because I'm not going to sit here and defend music. I'm not going to sit here and defend the.
I'd rather continue talking about YouTube.
Okay, last
We'll have a chat, inshallah. probably.
Inshallah,
Yeah,
100%.
no doubt.
Last piece, we'll talk about. Have you guys heard of Al Gore?
Al Gore.
Yeah.
No.
He's a former vice president of the US, and he actually ran for president. But he failed. But now, like, he's just gone on a massive spree to like save the climate change that's happening throughout the world right now. So I don't know if you've seen his first movie. It's called The Inconvenient Truth, where he talks about climate change and really urges using to fight climate change using a lot of like scientific facts, and shows a lot of like the Arctic melting and talk about the water across the world and so on. But now his second movie just come out and he's gone up on a massive tour to talk about climate change. So I just wanted to get your opinion. Like you're like quite.
I haven't got a lot of knowledge on climate change, to be fair. Nah, I hear people talking about it.
I have zero knowledge on it, as you know.
Yeah, I really don't have like. I'm aware that there's a lot of action going on, but I'm very ignorant to it. And I it's almost like they're talking about how the world is almost coming to an end. Yeah, I know. I knew that already.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's kind of reality.
They're talking about because they almost like science talks about it like we're talking about this is going to destroy our world, and eventually it will be the reason why the world doesn't exist. And obviously I know already that we're in the end times and the world's going to be wiped out anyway. So is that like a bit of a stupid way to like look at that whole thing? I'm aware, I'm very aware, but it's almost like I've never really put too much time and knowledge into it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think so.
Faisal, much knowledge on that? None.
I have zero knowledge about it. I'm really embarrassed to say
Do
that.
you worry about it?
You know I don't worry about it, Sam.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, Sam.
The end of the world is coming.
End of the world is coming. Look, you put your trust in Allah, we fear Allah, and we love Allah. Yeah?
Simple.
That's it.
100%.
Fine. All right, cool. Thank you, brother
I agree
Faisal.
with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well done.
Guys,
How long has it been?
that's the
Two
end
and a half
yeah,
hours?
2 and a bit.
So-
That's the end of current events.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, listen. I honestly think that I could go on and on and on.
It's been a minute.
And we haven't even touched the surface about your wealth of
I know.
knowledge.
Yeah.
But do you know why I've liked it? Because it's just felt like
Natural.
us chilling and
Yeah.
chatting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a normal
It would
conversation.
be if it was like just interview based. Like, that's not what we do,
Yeah,
man.
course,
So,
course.
bro. But with that being said, we haven't touched service, so we have to have you back.
Yeah,
man.
no
Please
doubt.
do come back.
Inshallah,
Why not
man.
anytime?
Did you enjoy it?
Anytime. I enjoyed it. I loved
good,
it, man.
Good.
Bro, I swear, Faisal's just one of the most unique. You're one of the
Yeah,
most
he is,
unique
he is.
person I've ever met, man. Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. All right, yeah. So, guys, listen. This was episode 25. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember, if you listen to us on the podcast app, share the news, man. Tell your people about us. And secondly, if you watch us or listen to us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Hitting that subscribe button allows us to kind of gauge who's listening, where you guys are from, and so we can create more content for you, towards you, and maybe even visit you. We've actually got a really cool thing coming up next month, inshallah, that we're really excited to do, and we will tell you.
Inshallah.
We'll probably by next week we'll probably be able to tell you guys about it. So,
Inshallah.
inshallah. So, guys, look after yourselves. This has been Freshly Grounded. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.
Like,